This is Ghostface, and you're listening to superhero stuff you should know. You better keep listening, or I'll find you and gut you like a fish.
Happy holidays! It's December. You know what that means. Time to rewatch Batman Returns. So, this is Ben, the man who knows too much about Batman Returns, and I'm joined by Goose Eggs Can Be Even Deadlier.
Thank you, Zach, for that idea. But it's Andrew, everybody. I'm here. It's Christmas time officially, but I don't want to listen to that fucking Mariah Carey song either.
No, we're going to listen to Danny Elfman only.
And then we got French Flipper Trick with us.
That's right. We're going to be listening to Susie and the Banshees.
That's true.
Face to face. That's what we're going to listen to. And yes, French Flipper Trick. It's me, Zachary Jackson Brown, excited to talk about one of my favorite Christmas movies,
Yes.
Batman Returns.
We have been on this concept art train, and I thought it would be good for us to continue that train with a specific movie this time, Batman Returns. So, we're going to dive into the unused Batman Returns concept art, and we'll probably end up doing all the different Batman movies, but I thought we would start here since, obviously, it's the Christmas time, and it's time to be rewatching this. So that
How
means
dare you go out of order?
we'll be, well, it's our show, so we get to do whatever the fuck we want.
That's right.
But we'll be looking into original character designs, gadget designs, even deleted scenes that only seem to exist in photos and art and storyboards and all that type of stuff. So you're going to see all of that in this show today. So I thought the best way to do this, because I thought I put in different arrangements and stuff. I'm just like, maybe it's just all characters first, Gotham first or whatever. But then I'm just like, you know what? Let's just go through the movie, but through the concept art. Seemed to be the best way to do it. That way you'll get to discover the deleted scenes along the way, the original character designs, all that good shit. So let's get right to it. So we will do our best to recap the visuals for those who are listening in as well. So let's start. So we do have storyboards available of the original scene in the beginning with Penguin's sort of baby carrier going down into the sewers, right down to the bats, creating the title for Batman Returns. So that was obviously something that was mapped out pretty well.
It's pretty awesome.
On here. Yeah. So we're looking at all the different things here, because obviously they had to storyboard it before they put it into the movie. So things like it going through the waterfall in that, or being able to see the the baby carriage through the mouth of that tunnel over there. So that's been pretty cool. And it finally sort of going down almost that slide that leads into the Gotham Zoo, where Penguin is discovered by the literal penguins of Arctic World. So
Ben, where'd
that's
you
pretty
find
awesome.
these storyboards?
These have been found by our research assistant, Dan, on this. So these specific ones, I'm not sure, but a lot of the storyboard stuff were found in different auction websites.
That's cool.
So we're going to find
That's
a lot
awesome.
of these storyboards, not just concept art, but also storyboards like this. And then finally the baby carriage making its way towards the penguins. Now, this next stuff that we're going to look at is a bit of a video clip of different things of the production design by Bo Welch. Anton Furst was not a part of the production on this one. He actually ended up committing suicide before the movie was released for unrelated reasons. He had severe depression. Or he was bipolar. I forgot which one. I think he was
You
bipolar.
might have told me that before, but I totally forgot that. That's sad.
Yeah.
It is, yeah. So that's also part of the reasons why Gotham looks so different in this movie, is because it's not Anton Furst anymore, and also they were not using the Gotham lot at Pinewood Studios anymore. They were shooting in Burbank. They were shooting on the WB lot, and so a lot of this was done at the studio there instead. So that's why everything looks different. But let's take a look at Bo Welch's production design and his team and what they came up with. So many of these come from different artists, some from Tim Flattery, some from Marty Klein, but a lot of the Anton Furst stuff that we would look at whenever we dive into the Batman 89 concept art, for Gotham, they were like these really elaborate, very detailed pencil sketches and stuff. And the ones for the Gotham in Batman Returns are a little different. The one we're looking at now is a little close to the pencil sketch type of thing. Looks very much like the sort of 89 Batman Gotham city. We even have something here that says Gotham Power, which alludes to the power plant that's part of the plot of the movie that Max-Schreck is trying to do. But as we go further, we find that a lot of the concept art for the Gotham are these sort of beautiful, elaborate paintings and stuff that sort of match the sort of gothic fantasy that's in the movie. So we're looking at one now that has some of the buildings as well as, I don't even know what to call these, like these horizontal chutes or something.
They're kind of, the structures there remind me of a lot of older mills, even in the South, and they'll be like, they are like passageways from one building to the other, so almost like textile mills and stuff like that.
Yeah, there's a bit of that, and I don't even know what this is. I'm looking at it right now. It looks like a building with a lot of different, I don't know what to call these.
It almost looks like it was going to be a power plant or something like that, but this has a lot of metal structures like in between it,
At first glance, I thought this was a photo. This is almost photorealistic here.
This is done by Tim Flattery, who's the one who designed the Batman Forever Batmobile. So he was working on Returns before Forever. So yeah, this could just be part of Gotham. Could also be, I mean, we never really got to see much of the inside of Max Schreck's power plant because he planned to build it. It wasn't actually built, but maybe this was sort of an idea of what it could have looked like. Going through, we get more of the sort of the grayish looking Gotham City over here, as well as just a little bit of the snow on top of it, which is kind of what made it cool in Batman Returns, was seeing Gotham with snow on the rooftops.
I like this because it makes it look more open. One of the only, I would say it's not like a negative critique, but one of the things I notice about Batman Returns is that it feels a little bit more claustrophobic. It doesn't feel quite as open as 89, and that's because I know that it wasn't like a large set built like a cityscape or like a couple blocks of streets. It was like multiple sets, so you never quite get a big open feeling. And I like seeing this because like I can see some of that familiar architecture from parts of the movie, like the rooftop that Catwoman and Bruce fight on, and you can actually see the street below and everything. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, so these are really cool. This next one, similar one. This looks like it's the glass greenhouse that Catwoman falls into a little later into the movie. And then around,
where's the Batman toy store? Wasn't there
supposed
to
be?
That's on the ground level.
We're gonna that's on the ground level. We're gonna actually see photos of that later.
That's some knowledge I retained from one of our EPs back in the day. I did not know that before you told me that.
That's another thing, too. If you guys have already experienced those episodes of the script deep dives, those were all audio. We're now looking at the visual versions. So you guys still get something out of this by getting to watch the visuals. And if you haven't checked out that episode, then check it out and come back here. But either way, you'll get to discover a lot of the stuff that was cut. So this looks like a bird's eye view of Gotham Plaza because we got the Christmas tree down here. And these spires almost kind of look like it's Gotham Cathedral, even though I know it's not, but it almost seems like that to me. And then another shot kind of the plaza with, again, a cathedral-looking building across from that. So that's kind of interesting. And going further, this looks a little bit more 89-ish over here. We've got sort of this dirty street with like steam coming out of the sewer covers, things like that, dirty cars. It kind of looks like the area that maybe they were considering where Batman lands when he's on the glider, when he recovers and comes back to the Batmobile. So there's a possibility there. Looking through, I can't quite make out what's on this poster in the back, but we've kind of got the old school sort of German art type of thing with like giant pictures of people's faces and the letters, kind of like the Harvey Dent poster in 89. So we have that here. It says TEL and then TURE on the bottom as in like future.
That's what I was thinking, something future.
Yeah. Think about the future. So different movie.
It looks like a German expressionism,
It does,
it's Metropolis, There's a lot of that, especially the guy turning the crank, right? In that other shot.
That's true, too. Yeah. This looks like a very snow-capped Gotham City is what we're looking at here, along with steam as well.
This one
very interesting.
Feels especially gothic. It almost looks like if every building in the city was like a Dracula castle. I don't know. It does still look somewhat industrial, but it's the the I guess like ends of the skyscrapers and everything.
Yeah. So it's a really interesting look on all this. I can't even really tell what this building is over here, but it's almost like even more gothic than what we got in the movie over here. So it's really interesting to take a look at this. And then the next is the closest that we've got to seeing what's in the movie. We've got Shreck's department store over here, the Christmas tree, and lo and behold, Andrew, I believe that is supposed to be the Batman store right across from Shreck's.
Oh,
Yep, sure is.
yeah.
So let's
That
go
would have been
into
so
that.
silly if they kept that in.
Yes.
Do you
Well,
think that, Ben, is supposed to be the Gotham City Cathedral from the first movie?
it makes me
I
think
always
it
wonder
is,
that.
even though it doesn't really fit, what we saw of the cathedral in the previous movie.
That's true. I was always curious as a kid because you do see it every now and then. It
Mm-hmm.
kind of has like just a random cathedral stuck in there.
Yeah. I mean, you could also think that there's like more than one cathedral too in there, because like
That's true.
unless they just happened to build Shreck's and all this stuff and the Christmas tree and this little bridge here are all between 89 and Returns, I guess they had to rebuild parts of it because parts of the street were blown up by Batman in the Batwing. So that's a
How
possibility.
long do you think? What's the amount of time that takes place between 89 and Returns?
It's never
when,
said. I would say probably at least a year.
Just 1 year, you think, and they had to do all this?
Potentially a year, maybe like Batman 89 is mainly the anniversary of Gotham, but we don't know the specific month. Some people think it's Halloween, but that's only because of a deleted scene with the kids dressed up Batman being like, and Vicky thinking it's Halloween, or that girl who asks, "Is it Halloween?" But that doesn't mean it actually is during Halloween. So maybe this is the Christmas of that year. So it could maybe take place in the same year, but I think there probably is a little bit more amount of time for that. I think
Batman's got to be tired.
I know, right?
We just had to do all this stuff in October, and here comes December. Penguin's ass is coming out of the
think it
sewer.
was just a couple months later. I think it's about a year, and also gives some time for Vicky Vale and Bruce's relationship to develop and then fall apart. I think.
Yeah, that's true.
In the original script for
Sad.
in the Daniel Waters script, there was a time where a scene that was cut where Bruce is looking at an ornament, a Christmas ornament that Vicky gave him, and he throws it into the fire. So that implies that last Christmas he spent it with Vicky, which means that this is, 89 happened, then he had Christmas with Vicky, then his relationship fell apart the year after, and then this is the Christmas of the other year.
He's gonna feel bad about throwing that ornament away. That was
He didn't seem to in the script.
That was a dick move that he'll regret later.
So, anyway, let's go then into the store that Andrew was talking about. So we originally were going to see the credits end in the Batman logo, just like in 89. Except this time, the logo that was going to fill the frame was going to be the logo of the store. It says, quote, "where the Batman logo fills the frame with a portentous soundtrack boom," of the Elfman music, of course. A playful salvo of snowballs reverberates against this image as the logo is revealed to be a hanging centerpiece in the window of a Batman merchandising store, along with Batman sleds, lunchboxes, t-shirts, and ticking clocks. Later on, a fire breather would destroy part of it. It says that he smashes open a big hole in the Batman store display window with his fire rod. He sticks his rod in his mouth and bellows then bellows a cloud of flame onto the Batman merchandise. So in the movie, this does happen, but not specifically in the Batman merchandising store. I feel like if this did happen, then it would almost seem like Batman was burning him with the afterburner of the Batmobile in revenge for taking out his store, which is weird.
It's just like they were so trying they were really trying to make Batman Returns an actual commercial for its own merchandise. So I'm glad that they took that out. It would have been too much, right?
Yeah,
That
and
would
there's
take you out of it.
Yeah, there's also an aspect that Daniel Waters was almost kind of like commenting on the character being used for merchandising and capitalism when like that doesn't really fit the movie, that it clearly is part of that. It just clearly is trying to sell toys, so it seems a little tone deaf on that. So I'm kind of glad it wasn't part of it, but I didn't realize until a few years ago that they actually built this as part of the set. So we're looking at it right now. On it, it has a giant Christmas wreath and the Batman logo on the yellow oval.
I want to go in there.
Of it. Yeah. and we actually have images of what's inside. So let's take a look inside.
Damn.
A giant Christmas tree, Batman silhouettes hanging around, a poster in the background. We got some Batman sleds that we're going to take a closer look at in a bit. Moving further, at this point, this is clearly just like other merchandise that they just threw in there. That's like from other comic book stores and stuff. We got a Batman water bottle. We got the '89 Batmobile. We got stickers and stuff, or license plates, decals of Batman in the classic blue and gray. Again, I don't think this is to comment that this is what Batman would look like in this world. I think that it was just stuff that they put to fill in, for a shot or
they're,
so.
They're obviously not caring about that kind of thing. They just want to.
They
want to sell. Yeah, they want to sell toys in the movie.
Yeah, and there's also there's a big piece of evidence of that too. That this is not supposed to really be that much in universe, and you'll see in a bit. We got Batman baseball caps. We got the Batman video game. Arcade game.
So arcade game. It looks like it's by Atari too. That's the Atari logo on it.
Mm-hmm.
This makes me think that it's been more of a year since '89. Ben, I think Batman's well established, and they've had time to make a whole arcade game about him.
Yeah,
and license him too.
Never underestimate the machine that is capitalism, Zach. This is 3 months, baby.
It's cranked out.
Boom. We got some Batman clocks up here. Batman umbrellas. That's interesting. That could have been used against them by Penguin in the movie.
They really need to open this store, though. Like
I know, right?
In Burbank, they need to just have like a specialized store. Like fuck the rest of DC. I'm saying this as a Superman fan myself too, but just Batman, dude. There's something to be said about being niche.
I would be there every day.
Yeah. Like this is so good. This store, man.
There's a little Robin figure in there, too.
That's the big piece of evidence. So we're looking at a picture inside the store, and there's a Robin figure in here. And I think this is the biggest piece of evidence that this is not meant to be, like, necessarily in-universe merchandise so much, because Robin doesn't exist yet in this version, and when he did, it wasn't the traditional Robin that we were looking at. It was going to be Marlon Wayans, and that's clearly not Marlon Wayans. That's just classic Burt Ward style Dick Grayson right there.
Maybe Robin already died by the time Batman Returns.
This is what I can imagine what happened. I don't know for sure because I was a kid when this is happening. I wasn't on set in Burbank. I was in Alabama at the time. But anyway, I think they told the production designer and the set designer or whatever, the production design team, make a store. Here's what it says in the script. So they did that. They built the entire fucking thing to the best of their ability. That's how much money they have. Because 89 is such a huge hit, too. So their budget's probably humongous. They build this store, and then, like, it's on this lot, obviously, and then I guess Burton comes along, and he's like, he finally gets a look at it, and he's like, I don't know. This might not work for us.
This is too much. Yeah.
This is a little too much. We're going to take this out entirely. So, I mean, it was obviously, they thought it was going to be in there, but a final review from Burton, he just gave it the nix at the last second. This happens a lot, I think.
Yeah, yeah. And as much as I'd love to walk into this store back in 1991, 1992 or so, I think it was the right call. There's just no need for this to be in this. There's no need for that sort of capitalism commentary when it doesn't really, like, if it tied in more to the movie, like if Shreck was selling Batman stuff and Batman was resentful of that, then like that could have tied in more, but this seemed to be unrelated to Shreck at all, is only really here for this opening bit, and later on was used in the script with Batman saying that he kind of hates people who live in Gotham for doing this. So I don't know, it just didn't really work. And then
go ahead, Ben.
I was going to say we're looking at the window of all the other merchandise, including a giant Batmobile at the top.
That's cool.
Hell yeah. I was going to say, Ben, this is officially in the novelization, right?
That too, yeah.
Yeah, I kind of remember
carried over from the script.
Yeah.
And then we're also looking.
It was next late in the game. It looks like. Yeah. Like they were about to shoot, and Burton was like, "Can we finally get rid of that thing?" really, I think it's what happened. I'd love to. Well, it might not be the most important question I'd ask him, but if we ever had an interview with Tim Burton, Ben, and Zach, I'd be interested to ask about that. Maybe like our 20th question down the road.
My prediction is that he's not going to remember. Yeah, exactly.
I don't remember.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say too. Like I don't know.
It'd be like Stan Lee at all the fucking panels, like people ask him a really specific question. He's like, I don't know, I can't remember. When I went to one panel one time, very quick tangent, somebody asked him about Avengers, and he was like, what's the DC version of the Avengers again? And somebody in the audience was like, the Justice League. Oh, yeah, the Justice League. It was just, I just was thinking, like, you've been in competition with these guys for like 60 fucking years. You don't know the goddamn fucking main thing. Never mind. Anyway.
Yeah, I get it. Next is a unique look at concept art for the Batman sled. This is a deep dive right here. This was the Batman merchandise that at one point, was going to be sold to a family that we saw on the script. And then later on, one of the Red Triangle Circus Gang members would take the sled and beat the father with it during the opening part.
That's fucking brutal.
Yeah.
It's dark, yeah.
So this is a look at the concept art of that sled, which basically is, a Batman symbol on the, I guess, at the top of the sled. Or whatever, with bat wings. It would be cool, if you were a kid who lived in like Colorado or something, where it's like a snowy area and you could go sledding all the time. This would be a great gift for that person.
Hell yeah, they should make these.
Well, they did in 1991 or so, because that's what's in the window right here next to a
I'll
Batman suit.
They got so far. This is really, really taking out the last second.
Yeah.
That means somebody, look, there's 3 of them. There's at least 3 of those that exist, and maybe somebody actually has it still.
I think so. So let us know in the comment section if you have one.
Yeah, if you're at an effect shop.
Yeah.
If you're one of the effect shops that made that, that's cool. That would be awesome to know.
Mm-hmm.
It's a pretty good Batman costume, too.
That too.
Them selling a replica of a man that they don't have any photographs of.
That's true. And it also looks like it's specifically the 89 one based off the abs there. Yeah. So
that's the other thing. Like, that's what I wanted to say. It feels like they made the whole store with very little input from the director or the screenwriter also. Because they don't know about the Robin too much. They probably haven't read the full script. This is the vibe I'm getting. Like, they're doing their best with like the 3 sentences from the script that they probably received. They had a bunch of money. Here, make it on the lot. There's, other than that, it's, they tried their best, but there was probably not much communication.
It was basically set dressing. Like, I picture that the shot is the exterior of the store that I'm pulling up right here. Yeah, the exterior of the store. Family walks out. Father's holding the sled. That's it. You wouldn't really get to see the inside outside of sort of what you can see from here. Just filling it up so that it looks like there's stuff in the store, because it would look weird if you didn't see anything.
And buying all that merch is like the cheapest thing that they bought.
Yeah, they would just transfer it over from the different stores.
Yeah, that was the easiest part.
Merchandising department. So yeah.
All
right. Well, that was cool. Let's move on to the Red Triangle Circus. We're looking at the biker clowns.
I love it.
It says biker hell clowns on the bottom here.
Who drew these?
That's kind of cool. I don't have names for some of these. So
this is cool though.
But I know there's a lot of people on the production team, and we'll put the specific links where we found everything in the show notes for you guys if you guys are curious who did what. But there's just too many names to give out, but we'll definitely acknowledge those.
Do you think some of Joker's goons decided they decided to get up with Penguin after Joker died? Is like, whatever, it's a living.
Maybe
definitely it's a living.
Yeah.
If they were still alive, I guess.
Well, those 2 guys in the helicopter, they're probably like, whoops, and then just flew off.
They're in Argentina now, man. At one of those places that the Nazis went to.
Oh, God.
That would be a hell of a fucking side story. One of those German-speaking towns in Argentina.
We cut this weird subplot from Batman Returns that followed those 2 henchmen that were in the Joker copter. They never show up in Gotham. There's just a subplot with them.
Yeah. Their kids speak German and Spanish, but that's about it. It's weird.
So what we're looking at, some of these shots that we're looking at will be photos that I took from the tome that is the Andrew Farago and Gina McIntyre Batman, The Definitive History of the Dark Knight book from the 80th anniversary. We interviewed Mr. Farago himself on our show, but some of the concept art in his book I didn't realize until literally, an hour before this recording. Some of that stuff is not online at all.
Nope.
Maybe some people have scanned it and I just couldn't find those scans, but Some of them I was like, these have to be in the episode because a lot of it was stuff that we didn't get to see. So some of it is this stuff where some of the vehicles were a lot more circus oriented.
Hearing that almost makes me a little happy just because it's like, wow, something that's in a book, not online.
Yeah.
Not anymore, Andrew.
I know, now we fucked it up.
Yeah, but it's a picture of me taking it that's now on a video. They would have to do a lot to do that. Yeah.
The book is like 700 pages long. I think it'll be fine. No one scanned the whole thing. Well, at the publisher, yes, but it's not online.
Yeah. So we're looking at like the train set was kind of used when they took all the children, but there's like a bunny vehicle, a bear vehicle. I don't remember that type of stuff.
That's cool.
I guess it was kind of like,
yeah,
I guess it was kind of like to show like, oh yeah, there was other animals they made other than ducks.
Yeah,
for the Duckmobile.
Oh yeah.
And then right next to it is Penguin in like the arcade Batmobile thing that he used to take over the Batmobile later on in the movie.
I love that.
So that was pretty fun.
Yeah, that's cool.
This is gothic concept art of when the bat signal shines in that great visual scene where we see Keaton for the first time. So this is almost like Edward Gorey-esque of Wayne Manor, just solitary on a hill with all these dead trees around it, which is not really how we saw it in the movie, but
nope.
Jesus Christ, it's gothic, you know?
Yeah.
And you've got, it's interesting how like detailed the mansion is, yet how sparse like the rest of the landscape is, just selling this solitary figure, I think.
That's an interesting point. I mean, Zach, isn't that's a technique, right? If you want to, if you got to draw it quickly, you're only going to do one part of it anyway.
Yeah.
But like B, it's a way to distinguish.
Well, it's called
your
emphasis.
focal point. Yeah, emphasis. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They're emphasizing the the main thing that they want you to see. But I like this view because it does show how far away Gotham City is. I think when you watch the movie, you don't really have any sense geographically of where Wayne Manor is in relationship to Gotham, but this is kind of cool to like see that it's like another separate from the city. Yeah. But it's like kind of looming over everything. But yeah, I do like how sparse everything is around it compared to that very tedious architecture.
That's cool.
We also have looks at the specific spotlights where the bat signal shines in on this. So this looks pretty close to what we saw in the movie of one of the spotlights that shines in. And we also get another shot of this as well, a little bit more detailed on that. Though noticeably in both concept arts, neither one seems to have the bat insignia on it.
Right.
So that's kind of weird.
Yeah, it's weird.
I never noticed the maze. If you go back one, there's like a maze next to Wayne Manor, the hedge maze.
Oh, shit.
I can't remember if that's in the film or not, but that's like such a weird detail. Do you think Alfred's out there snipping those hedges down?
I think he's out there.
Right.
He's running away from Jack Nicholson in that maze.
Keep Joker's frozen corpse out there. That's how dark this Batman is.
Stephen King's like, I hate it.
Let us know in the comments if the maze is in the movie, but it'll just give us another excuse to rewatch this movie.
That's right.
So yeah, that's concept art for the
It's
signal.
like a Art Deco meets a little steampunk, if I were to describe this to our audio-only listeners.
Oh yeah, the little projector that shines the bat signal into Wayne Manor.
They're it looks more
steampunky
in this. Yeah, more steampunky in this concept art, I think.
Got some gears.
Yeah. Just
gears going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's take a look
Alfred
at some
put
of the
those
Batman
up there?
stuff. Maybe. He
Think
probably
Alfred
did.
got on a ladder and put them outside Wayne Manor? I mean,
70-something-year-old Alfred.
I'm very old, sir.
Bruce is working them to damn death. And look, like, that's what would you say to somebody if you paid them to put them up there? Like, oh, what are you putting these up here for, Mr. Wayne? Don't ask any questions.
I'm a Batman fan. Have you seen that store downtown?
It's for my satellite TV. I need to get HBO. That's under Warner Brothers affiliate, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that's it.
Alfred's like, sir, why can't you just look out the window when you know the signal is up? Why do I have to put these up?
I might be sitting alone in the study in the dark, and I need this to shine in on me. Do you think it shines in, like, every window of Wayne Manor? Like, how does it know where he is, you know?
That's true. I think he's just always in that chair just to make sure that...
He only sits in that chair when he's not Batman, or do you think it's shining in, like, the bedroom, the bathroom? Is it shining in like every window?
It shines on him when he's on the toilet taking a shit.
Yeah. Oh.
It's time.
Gotta wrap this up.
Alfred, we're out of toilet paper.
Then he does a technique from Tibet. He learned how to poop faster or something. Loosen the bowels. All right, I'm ready.
Dun, dun.
And okay, so now the flush then goes into like Penguin's lair. That's the beginning of the movie.
That's why
it like circles around, and then it like gets dark, and it's like diddle diddle diddle, like the Danny Elfman theme.
It splats one of those penguin's eyes. God damn it! Fucking guano.
Oh,
he's more Burgess Meredith in our version.
Yes.
God damn it!
Let's take a look at some of the Batman concept art. This is very Burton-esque right here. I don't think it's a serious Batsuit concept art type of thing, but we're looking at basically almost the silhouette of Batman, kind of with the cape out, almost like the glider, but we don't see anything of the body. It's literally just his head on top of the cape with a bunch of bats next to it.
This is like dream logic kind of nightmare.
Yeah, exactly.
Like Sienkiewicz or somebody would draw this
or
kind
McKean
of thing.
Of Arkham.
Yeah, so...
but let's look at some more other concept art that I found from like auction stuff. So this looks like an unfinished one. Reminds me a little bit of Batman Year One in terms of the art. But what's even more interesting than this one is something that ties into our Unmade Batman or Unmade Batsuits episode from last week, which is an all-white suit.
That is awesome.
We got an all-white Batsuit here with yellow eyes and stuff. I don't know like where this would have fit in, maybe in the finale, but I mean, he's not really around the snow that much in the finale, but it was kind of just an interesting idea. It's Batman in an all-white suit in what looks like almost like a snowstorm.
Mm-hmm.
I need to get you those pictures of like historical recreations of the white ninja suit. So we can compare and contrast. But yeah, this is pretty cool. I mean, it's obviously like we can assume these specks around him are supposed to be snowflakes, so this, I guess, is a snowsuit.
Mm-hmm.
If we're, really thinking about it.
just the idea of him walking around with the elfin music doing dun 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 while like the snow falls and stuff. He's fighting through the storm to get to Penguin. Would have been really cool.
Then go back to the one before that.
Yep.
It's like the same pose. Yeah, I was just thinking about that. You can't see his other arm, but I was thinking it was reversed.
Yeah, maybe.
It's like almost the same pose. Where he's got that cape up.
Is there any time you would sketch in these colors, Zach, and then do the real one in this way? Is that just an early sketch? And
it's probably just like it's probably just like a quick concept art thing. So they didn't spend like they didn't fill in the whole picture or spend a whole lot of time on it. It was just to kind of capture like a atmosphere or mood.
So we shouldn't draw too much conclusions from the colors.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think it was just like blue and orange are complements. So we're gonna see how they look well together. For stuff like this, I've seen a lot of concept art where it's very bare bones and kind of like quick, because it wasn't always something that was going to be developed further. So I guess they just kind of did something really fast.
Yeah. So
but I love that all-white Batsuit. That's cool.
Yeah. There's also a possibility of concept art for the merchandise, I could imagine. So, but I don't know. I don't have a lot of background other than finding these on different auction sites. But let's continue on. This is from the Farrago book, where it looks like different concept designs for when Batman's Batmobile had those things that came out that took down the guys on stilts.
Mm-hmm.
And we can see one of those ideas was a Batwing-like fan that spread out on both sides that we're looking at the bottom left here.
Yeah,
do you think it's supposed to be a fan, or do you think it's showing motion lines of like the movement of the bar?
Well, it just says Batwing-like fan spreads open
doesn't it?
From beneath sides.
That's true. Yeah.
It's small for me. I couldn't see the text.
I see what you're thinking, though, yeah.
Yeah, there's a possibility. But, I mean, we have different ones here. We have, like, what looks like just two straight pulls on some of these others. And then we have one that looks close to what we got in the movie, where it's like a pull, but, like, with, like, metal, like, flaps attached to it, in a way. So those were used to take down the stilt.
Shin busters.
Yeah, pretty much. We also got the windshield wipers. They had concept art for the windshield wipers on the Batmobile.
So important.
Wow.
Yes. Probably
Morrison would not be pleased.
because of the fact that there's that shot with the Red Triangle Circus Gang members who were at the windshield and tried to shoot it. And stuff. So maybe they had plans to do stuff with the windshield.
That's how he was going to clean the blood off.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. Maybe. So that's some interesting stuff here. Next, we're going to look at some of the concept art for the Gotham Zoo, the Arctic world, where Penguin's hideout is. So this is a bit of a storyboard type stuff that kind of shows us what we saw in the movie leading up to the zoo gate. We have concept art here of Arctic world with that giant polar bear at the top. This looks pretty close to what it was in the movie on here. And then we have the inside of it. We got the giant rubber duck. We have those other vehicles we saw earlier with the rabbit and the bear that aren't really in the movie. We've got people. We've got circus members. It looks like inside the cage that was used to, house Max-Schreck at the end.
Yeah.
So don't really know what's going on there.
I was just gonna say, if this is Arctic world, why is there a rabbit? And maybe even the duck. Shouldn't it be like a polar bear and a penguin and something else, like a sea lion?
I feel like that's crossover from the Red Triangle Circus more so than from Arctic World.
Oh, well, that's true. I guess he made them. I mean, I do know this from Batman Returns. You can see those ducks hanging outside of the
zoo.
That's
true.
I always assumed Penguin just crawled up there and pulled one down to make into a vehicle. I thought that they were like a chairlift ride or something like that that went around the zoo.
Yeah.
So that's true. I guess these are just things they made into vehicles, but he really likes that rubber ducky. So
yeah, that's true. And then next we're looking at another shot of it with the big AC generator thing that's used later on to kill Max-Schreck. We even see Catwoman at the very top, very teeny tiny version of her. So this is done again by Tim Flattery, who designed the Batman Forever Batmobile. And then we have different designs of the different umbrellas here. So while we still have the traditional, spiral black and white one that's used to give Max a splitting headache, I think that's the one.
Yeah.
We have a bunch of others here that are interesting. There's almost like this one looks like it's got ninja blades on it or something.
Yeah.
At the very top left, we've got another one that looks like a blade comes out of it. Other ones that look like something dangles from it. There's a whole bunch of different designs on here on this page that are really interesting to look at.
That one on the bottom right has little mace spike balls hanging from the ends of each one. That's kind of awesome.
It is awesome
heavy.
though. Also, I feel like it's more of a danger to Penguin than anybody.
He just squats down and spins it really fast and then knocks everybody down around him.
But then when they slow down, they're coming for him.
Yeah. I didn't think this through.
His top hat is made of steel. He's going to be all right.
Yeah.
Just clangs off of it.
This other one looks like a half pumpkin. Looks like it could be Scarecrow's umbrella.
Ooh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Here you go, Crane. You get your own.
They are pretty awesome. I like seeing those different designs.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Moving forward, another one of the Arctic world and stuff. This is interesting. There's there's big of a giant cage in the center. A little bit more of the, I guess, the look of it seeming like it'd be something that you'd see in a zoo or polar bear exhibit or something like that. So kind of an interesting early look as well in here. But since we're talking about the Penguin hideout, let's talk about the Penguin himself.
Well.
So this, what we're looking at is art by Tim Burton. And Danny DeVito said that this was one of the first things that Burton showed him. He said, quote, "When I met with Tim, he gave me a painting of this little creature on a yellow ball with red and white stripes. The caption is, 'My name is Jimmy, but my friends call me the hideous penguin boy.'" So that's kind of
that is actually it's actually from an early Tim Burton illustration book. It's there's all these children that are deformed or have weird names. So I always think about that whenever I see this picture. I was I wonder if he just thought about that for Oswald or just it was a random thought in his head.
Yeah. So this is kind of the idea of making him even more deformed than what he looked like in the comic and stuff, which I think has come under fire from fans over the years, but I think people have come to accept that more these days.
I mean, let's describe this to the listener here. So it looks like, God, it's just super simple watercolor.
Yeah.
And he's just got a round head, very, it's that cutesy macabre style that
It's like a baby
Burton always
penguin.
has.
Yeah.
And it's like a baby penguin. Yeah,
Baby
it's just
Oswald,
like,
I should say, yeah.
baby Oswald, but he's got like a tuxedo, and it looks like an American flag on the in the
just
background.
red and white stripes.
But it's just
like
red
a
and white.
tent.
Yeah,
Or a candy cane.
And they're vertical, and it's if you didn't say this is supposed to be the penguin, you'd never think that it was the penguin for sure.
Yeah. But as Zach said, I don't know if this is really meant to be like this is the actual design we should go with, so much as like this is the feeling we're trying to evoke.
Yeah, kind of like a little bit of inspiration.
I think Burton seems like he's like this is the feeling guy.
Yeah,
this is the
then he
this
lets
is the
other
feeling
people,
we want.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So let's go into some of the concept art for Penguin over here. This looks pretty close. I think this is done by Burton himself.
Yep.
On it has a style to it. Looks pretty close to what we saw in the movie with Penguin's final outfit with that like union suit.
His underwear suit that he runs around.
Yeah.
It's funny looking at this now, as a grown ass man, because I remember seeing Burton stuff when I was a kid, and it was like. It felt like this is the darkest thing imaginable. This is like Marilyn Manson. Marilyn Manson came a little bit later, but still, and like now it's like it's cutesy macabre fans.
Yeah,
Yeah,
pretty much.
Yeah.
Let's see. Going through, we have what looks like designs for Penguin having more of a use for the monocle as well as the top hat, which he doesn't usually wear that much in the movie. He only really has the monocle in that one scene where he's looking through the City Hall records, and he's wearing it in the poster, but he's not really using it that much in the movie.
Unfortunately,
yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
But if they went with our version, where he was using it to guard his eyes from Batman's shit coming down from the sewer, then they would have had a purpose for it. So
it hits the eye without the monocle, though. It's like, God damn it.
Damn it. So these are early designs of that. Looking further, it looks like this is another one of Penguin with the Red Triangle Circus Gang on there. So we got the Fat Clown, the Fire Breather Dude, a Strong Man, another clown, and a guy with a monkey.
The organ grinder.
Oh, the organ grinder, yeah. He still has the beard from the organ grinder guy. He just doesn't have the hat. So we've got that. Other looks here. This is from Stan Winston, who was a part of creating the Penguin. And this looks a little closer to what we got in the movie. Though I don't remember the top hat being paired with this like roby looking thing, at least not to this extent.
It is in part of it, I think. Maybe like...
I don't think the coat's as pronounced as this. Is what we're looking at.
No, not as like hanging down and everything.
Because like his entire head is almost disappearing into the coat.
It's like they were trying to create the silhouette of an actual like penguin.
I know. Oh yeah, that's true.
And everything. Yeah. It's like everything slopes together.
And this one on the left looks like he's in like a white coat, which could have been interesting too. Moving further, we got more designs, but if you look on the right, we have what looks like more of a likeness of Danny DeVito that they were playing around with, as you could see. But in the center, or even just on the bottom left, you can kind of see it looks closer to DeVito, just with a prosthetic nose and different, the balding hair. It doesn't look as different as he does in the movie. So it's really interesting to sort of take a look at that to be like, how far do we go with the prosthetics on this?
Yeah.
So that's cool. And then we kind of get the final design here, which is pretty close to what we got with him in the big coat, the striped pants, the umbrella, the top hat, and then the monocle. Basically what he looks like on the poster.
Now that looks like the costume designer, the same guy that did the sketches of, I know you've seen him, Dan, like of the Joker.
Ringwood?
Bob Ringwood. It looks like some of his like kind of watercolor sketches.
I think
because
this is his,
Yeah, it reminds me of the ones that are in like the trading cards for Batman '89, like that concept art for Joker, because he's almost doing like the same pose but with a cane.
Yeah. So this is cool to see. So these are the early designs for Penguin on that. Next, we're looking at storyboards for our other character of the movie, which is Selina Kyle. This is storyboards of Selina leaving her apartment when she figured out that she forgot the Bruce Wayne file. So this is cool. I don't remember this specific shot, though, where she leaves, closes the door, and we cut to darkness. This is kind of laid out in the storyboard. I don't think that's how it was in the movie, though. I think she just leaves, and then we cut to Shreck's office.
Yeah, I think it opens that way whenever she first comes into her apartment. I think it's dark and then
it's
the
the
lights
reverse
come
of
on.
this.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So that's interesting. Next, we have storyboards of her actual fall, which seem pretty close. It's her falling through the awning with the cat face on it.
This is cool. Is this a different artist, maybe, also for this sequence?
Yeah, this is a different artist here. Some of these storyboards will be coming from Michael Anthony Jackson, who has a few notable storyboards that we'll go into in the second half on stuff because of what they influence later. But this is pretty much what we got in the movie, I'd say.
I love seeing storyboards, man, because whenever I make my stuff, I try to storyboard the entire thing. And generally, they only storyboard certain sequences for big movies. But I've heard that James Gunn storyboards the whole fucking movie.
Yeah, I think Snyder does too. Yeah.
Snyder does as well. Yeah, I mean, just pay the guy and try to see the movie before you make the movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think it makes sense. You're spending too much money and time otherwise.
Yeah. So Selina falls thanks to Max-Schreck, and there is a deleted scene in the script, but also in the comic book adaptation. So Max's son, Chip, actually catches his father killing, or believing he killed, Selina. And Max tries to cover it up, being like, it was terrible. I leaned over and accidentally knocked her out. And Chip covers for him, saying, quote, she jumped. She's been depressed. Boyfriend trouble? Stress. Basically, he agrees to be part of his dad's deal. It would have given Chip a bigger role, but Chip is the least important character of this entire movie, so I don't really care about this in the movie. But
time
it's
to
interesting
go
that it's in
down
the
and
comic.
greet the masses. Yes.
Still surprised they never put Shreck in the comics ever again, or not that much, right?
I think he's so tied to Christopher Walken, it'd be so weird to see him without Walken's likeness unless Walken signed off on it.
Yeah.
Just, I don't know. I mean, make him Walken-esque, but... and then people would read it as Walken anyway, but you're just reading it, I don't know. It's just...
Yeah.
You think they could at least mention him at some point? I mean, obviously it's mentioned in 89, Batman 89, the comic.
Yeah.
Shrek's department store, and then you see Selina's paper has the cat logo on it, but I don't think he's ever even mentioned in mainstream comics as a character.
No, he's not. And what's also weird, I could not find any concept art for Max-Schreck.
Weird.
There's nothing on him. I couldn't find any costume designs on him, nothing. It was as if he just sort of just appeared.
Is he in the scripts? He's in the early scripts or no?
I mean, he's in the scripts. Yeah, he's in the scripts, but there's no concept art of him. The only visuals I have of Max-Schreck in today's episode are from the comic adaptation, but I don't have him in any of the concept art. There's no concept art, no character designs, nothing I could find.
Interesting.
So the script just probably said he's a guy in a tux or a suit. And
yeah,
that's it, I guess.
They kind of made him look like the inventor dude from Metropolis with the with the hair and stuff. So.
Yeah, right.
Let's go further. So Selina obviously survives and goes home and becomes Catwoman. So we're going to take a look at some early Catwoman designs in a bit. So
man,
we're going to call this Bob Kane's 10-plus Catwoman.
Jesus Christ. Let us now describe for the listener. I'll let you handle this one, Zach.
Okay, well, this is definitely a little bit closer to a dominatrix than most people would believe, considering a lot of people think that the return suit is kind of kinky. But so this is a Catwoman, an image of her from about the waist up. She's Catwoman mask goes over her nose, kind of like the early designs I've seen of that makeup too. Or the
when are you going to get to the most important part?
I'm getting there.
He's going
Okay.
from the top down.
She's got a Dracula collar around her neck, and it's kind of buckled right at her clavicle. And then the suit that she's wearing opens up and goes down to her bodice, which she is bursting out of. So she has kind of a corset on, and her nips are seen just barely peeking out over the top, and she's got a black spot on there. I don't know if that's a tattoo or a mole on one boobie. So
this is literally half a nipple popping out. The guy was probably it's supposed to be PG-13, right?
I can see Michelle Pfeiffer looking at this and being like, no.
No.
Yeah.
No thanks.
I was not expecting this here today.
we saw this. Dan and I saw this. I'm like, we have to put this in the episode. This is ridiculous.
We're gonna get a PG-13 rating now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
This is what Bob Kane wanted in the Return of Batman.
This is actually Bob Kane's sketch that he submitted for Catwoman.
I got a 10+ concept for a 10+ bra.
I actually do wonder if they originally had Catwoman with hair, because it looks like there's like whiteout around her head almost.
Maybe, yeah.
Right, yeah. There. What is that?
Yeah, and the cowl itself somewhat without the whiskers, but the cowl itself kind of reminds me of Halle Berry Catwoman a little bit.
Yeah, but doesn't it look like
also a revealing costume? Probably.
Doesn't it look like some of that unused Catwoman cowl? Have you ever seen that Jose sculpted? That's like got a nose on it and it like goes down further.
We will be looking at that in a bit.
Ah, okay.
Yeah,
I'll wait till then.
It does cover the nose. A lot of the designs covered the nose until they found that it was tough for the actress to breathe.
Why did they do that? It's like the other guy. What were we looking at? The unmade Batsuits for the unmade Justice League, and they're like, well, let's uncover Batman's nose, which has never been done in the history of comics, and now they're trying to cover up Catwoman's nose, which I guess it was only covered up in like the first costume for Catwoman, right? Where she actually had like a cat face?
Well, she had, her entire face was covered in that instance.
Yeah.
But obviously they decided this is not the way to go, and so the stitched up version of the Catwoman suit was born from there.
Yeah.
And I gotta say, this is kind of the only interpretation where I like that version. You know, I don't think it fits any other version of Catwoman. I'm kind of glad it wasn't something that got adapted into the comics. I think it belongs to the Pfeiffer version and the Pfeiffer one alone, to me personally.
This has got to be Burton's sketches here.
This
right?
looks like Burton's sketch of it, where it's pretty much a Tim Burton sketch of what we got in the movie of the white stitches on the black costume and stuff.
Man, that was such a stellar performance from Pfeiffer.
Yeah. I agree with Ben though, with that costume being so unique to the movie. In my head as a kid, I just thought like this is what Catwoman always looks like. Mm-hmm. I think that was my first introduction to the character. Along with the animated series, and I like the gray outfit on there too, but I just always assumed like, oh yeah, Catwoman is a black costume with white stitches. It just seemed like it fits so well, but yeah, it is kind of weird to think about like any other version having that kind of texture on the costume.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we have other versions of the costume getting more and more torn up as the movie goes along. You know, when she has her fights with Batman, there's some rips in the stitches, and then she's just really torn up at the end on it. Which is also why, like, I give Joe Quinones, a lot of slack for having a sort of redesigned Catwoman in Batman '89, where it's like it's still Michelle Pfeiffer, but she's got some aspects of the Jim Balent Catwoman with like the purple, the leggings and the
it's like modified a little bit.
Yeah, because I'm just like her costume was pretty fucked up at the end of the movie. Naturally, she would have something, but it's good that they stuck with the overall, design of the stitching. Mm-hmm. There's more here in terms of comparing it with the suit from the movie. Pretty close, I'd say. And then the more torn up version from the movie with... this one looks like she would have had more... Like, one eye hole in the mask would have been fine. The other one would have been just, like, ripped apart on this version, which isn't really what we got in the movie. Also, her belly's exposed in this early version of this. She's just more fucked up in this. That's true, yeah.
Breasticle, yeah.
And then there's another shot here of the Catwoman suit with longer ears, which is interesting. But let's look into the one that Zach was talking about. So this is one of the early sculpts of the Catwoman cowl, but the one we were specifically talking about was the one where the nose is covered. So we're looking at this one here, where the nose and the bit of, under the nose is covered. And this apparently was sculpted not for Michelle Pfeiffer, but for the original actress who was cast as Catwoman. It was originally going to be Annette Bening playing Catwoman in Batman Returns. However, she got pregnant thanks to Warren Beatty. And so she was replaced by Michelle Pfeiffer on this. And who knows how that would have gone. But Michelle Pfeiffer obviously became iconic for her performance in this. And it's kind of weird how, at least in the first 3 Batman movies of the Warner Brothers reign, the lead actress was almost always replaced. Sean Young was replaced by Kim Basinger, and then Rene Russo was replaced by Nicole Kidman. So in Batman Forever, so it's sort of weird how that sort of became a tradition. But we're looking at this version of it, and it looks weird. Like, it looks like she almost has like a mustache type of, like a bushy cat mustache type of thing underneath. It just does not look good to me.
Yeah, it's kind of like a muzzle over her mouth and under the nose. It is it's just not flattering either. And to me, like, the other one looks a little bit more realistic as far as like Selina made it herself, because it's just kind of like the little like mask and cowl. So it's just a little too far as the cat face goes.
Yeah, I just keep seeing mustache. I'm just like, this does not look
I
good
keep
for
seeing
Catwoman.
Wolverine, like the original Wolverine mask or something. It's just weird.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Here
see,
it is.
that looks so
colored
strange.
black. Yeah, it just doesn't really work.
They just hadn't figured it out. We're again, like we talked about this in the other one. Like, we've seen the end product.
Yeah.
But for them to get there, they obviously hadn't seen the end product yet. So it just takes some engineering.
Yeah, it's a cool Elseworlds idea to like see this, but I feel like she just would talk like she couldn't breathe through her nose all the time.
Yeah.
Mistletoe can be deadly if you eat it.
Also notice the stitching has not been colored white yet.
Yeah.
She's the one with the hoarse voice in this movie, not Batman.
Yeah. I'm Catwoman.
And then now here it is colored in with the white stitching on it. But overall, glad we got what we got, which has kind of been the overall theme so far on what we've seen.
So they got close. They got close to this, but they definitely were like, this.
Yeah.
Let's cut out that nose there.
Yeah.
I wonder who made that call. I wonder if it was Jose or what.
Yeah, or it might have been Burton himself, just being like, doesn't look good. Who knows? We'll have to find out. But in the meantime, that's what we got for Catwoman, and more of the black stitching, and we'll find out more after the break.
Lord have mercy, y'all. Do you like hounds? Do you enjoy pooches? Do you find yourself enjoying time spent with that of canines? Talking about dogs, y'all.
As you might have heard, Superhero Stuff You Should Know has now teamed up with Barkbox. For every month, you get a box for your special canine.
Pooches.
Or hounds.
That's right. One free extra month if you go to barkbox.com/superherostuffpod.
Follow the link and you'll get a free extra month valued at $35 and valid for all multi-length plans.
So get the Barkbox for your hound, for your pooch, for your canine.
Your doggo will thank you. Welcome back, and we're going to continue experiencing Batman Returns in a way you've never experienced it before, through concept art. But first, a quick tangent. We want to talk a little bit about the white suit Batman and its connections to the white-suited ninjas. So
I couldn't let it go. So during the break, literally found these images and wanted to share them. So this is obviously historical reconstruction. There was nobody with a fucking camera on ninja missions in the snow back when it was actually happening. But this is, this is the white ninja suit in obviously very snowy area of Japan. So, I mean, Japan's very mountainous. So they're probably in some mountainous region here. And this is when you have to blend in. So we said this in the past in an episode just before this, right? Where I thought it'd be cool if Batman were to copy this. Yeah. Maybe even like in a third act where we're leading towards some snowy area.
Yeah.
I mean,
like
Tibet.
if this was this in Batman and Robin, or in Tibet if it's, against someone else.
Yeah, and then it's like a reveal of like, holy fuck, is that a white Batsuit? That would be that'd be stellar because it would really make sense in this situation. So we have a couple more photos of the historical recreation. This one is using a fucking icicle to fucking kill somebody, dude. The most efficient weapon there is. Well, I guess they weren't worried about fingerprints, but you could use this today, everybody, if you didn't want to leave fingerprints behind.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's this is the snow ninja. So there you go.
Got another shot here.
Yeah, jumping shot.
Yep. And then
it's so badass. These white. I think there's like white. There's like white ghillie suits today, right? And like sniper type of suits. So. It's the same concept brought over, So yeah.
Yeah. So this is awesome. Could have been in Batman Returns. I don't know. I don't have a lot of information on that concept art, but we didn't really get a chance to dive that much into this in previous episodes on Batman and Ninjas or on the unmade Batsuit, so we thought we might as well cover it now.
It sure as hell would have made Batman and Robin better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I think that would have been really cool. I know it's supposed to be like a suit that's better for the Arctic conditions, so it's got silver to help
It would have made
him?
more sense if it was this. Yeah.
Yeah, especially if you saw him like sneak up on Mr. Freeze or something, and it was actually like a snowy area. So that
would be
kind of cool.
Mm-hmm. Let's continue on with the Batman Returns dive here. So we're looking at concept art for the rubber ducky on top of the little apparatus thing that allows him to go up from the sewer up into the ground level.
Does not make sense. I don't know. I love the concept, like the little like elevator lift, but I don't understand how the duck goes up to the manhole and Penguin is like the physics just don't add up. The top of the duck's head would hit the top of the sewer ceiling before
this is
Penguin
not
gets
realistic
into
enough
the
for
manhole.
you, huh?
Like Penguin goes up, like he is raised up into the manhole to like
this is what you have issues
this
with.
degree, and then he steps out. Like
no. You
where'd the
see,
duck
they
go?
got the little elevator on the bottom of the duck. There's the little
There's
elevator
another little
inside
elevator
the
in
duck,
the duck.
and it raises him up. You just didn't see that part, man.
Okay, that makes sense. Now, if I saw a penguin like climbing up out of the manhole with the baby, I'd be like, okay, it got him up to the top, and then he gets out. But it lifts him like the whole way.
Yeah.
That always bothered me. But
If he uses his upper body strength or what little there is to try to get him that extra bit.
He's
No,
also
he
a
opens
little
up the
baby.
umbrella and he fucking waits for a draft to pull him up.
Yeah, what if you use that helicopter umbrella coming out of there?
That's why he's got the umbrella. He's raising the umbrella in this concept art.
Yeah,
Gives me
man.
the extra push at the end.
Yeah, dude.
But I do love the Duckmobile. It is like one of my favorite vehicles of any Batman movie. It is so
Also,
bizarre.
The great line that DeVito says, "Into the duck."
Yeah.
I'm just never going to hear that in any other movie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
like
true.
why is it not a penguin? Why is it a duck? But it's just like works so well floating around in the water. I remember as a kid when you find out that it's like a vehicle, like it has wheels on the bottom, just being like, oh, like he actually goes up the stairs. It's one of my favorite parts. You just see those
reveal.
The
little
second
wheels.
car I care about.
Yeah, that's right. It's the Batmobile and the damn penguin ducky.
This fucking duck.
This more concept art that we're looking at of the duck. Unfortunately, it does not show any of the elevator platform that Andrew was talking about.
We're going to assume it was there,
It was there, yes.
so don't even worry about it.
In the meantime, let's talk about the Batcave for a little bit. So we're looking at concept art of the Batcave. We would have seen kind of a different look of it than what we're seeing in the movie. So here we're just kind of looking at an overall shot of it with different stairs leading to bits and pieces, which I think is kind of like what it was in the movie. This kind of looks like there's a Batwing right here.
Yeah.
I could be wrong on that. But
Something's there.
something's there. It's tough to tell because it's so damn dark in the concept art. But let's take a look at some other stuff, which is the concept art for the Batcomputer. Now, this is different from the movie because it has...
Yeah.
I don't even want to count how many monitors. But it's got a shit ton of monitors as opposed to in the movie where it didn't seem like it was that extensive. But it seems like an extension of...
89.
what we got in 89, except the monitors, instead of all being connected, all of them are sort of being hanging from the ceiling like a bat, kind of like the Batfleck Batcave, where everything's hanging from the ceiling on that. So
It's like on
I
a
feel like-
mobile.
that's cool.
Again, it just sort of feels like they paid several different concept designers, and they gave them some descriptions, and just to have a vision board, because they didn't have Google image search also at this time,
Yeah.
for sure. So it's just like Burton can kind of wrap his head around, like, not this one, maybe elements of this one, then that one, and then that kind of mix of this and that one, and then that's going to be ours. You know what I mean? That's probably what's happening, you know?
Yeah, we can even see sort of the vault where the Batsuit is over here.
Yeah, that's cool.
Then, I don't know, the different screens look a little less Batcavey to me and more like the Riddler looking at stuff in the Arkham
Yeah, it
games.
does.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of glad they didn't go with this one necessarily. And then a little bit more stuff of the Batcave. Bruce Wayne's chair, even got concept art for
Bat
the
logo on it?
ergonomics. Yeah,
He bought it at the Bat store.
Might as well take
if
advantage
you can't beat
of
him,
this.
join it. Yeah.
Yeah. Good products there.
And then we got Wayne Manor. Again, Wayne Manor was changed from what we got in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
We got this kind of cool look of this arch under the stairs, which I don't think is in the movie. And then there's some big statue thing of wings by the staircase. That's kind of cool. And then the cathedral window on the side. That's kind of cool.
Big ass fireplace.
And a big ass fireplace, which is what did make it into the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I feel like there is only that one. Isn't there just the one interior shot of Wayne Manor? Or maybe two? I feel like there's you don't see very much of it.
Yeah, I feel like it's the study where he gets hit with a bat signal, and then it's this other room,
the living
fireplace,
room,
the living room, the fireplace, and the TV, and that's also the same place where Alfred's putting up the Christmas ornaments.
Yeah, is that scene where the aquarium is and the Iron Maiden, is that in the study? I think that's right.
Yeah,
it probably is because it's dark in the other shot.
Here. Yeah, it's probably over here. We see what looks like it could be a library over here on the other side of the arch. Yeah. So that could be where that was. Moving further, we got another deleted scene where Bruce Wayne goes to Max-Schreck's for his appointment, only to find that Max is looking out the window and Selina's body was not found. So Max speculates that maybe she was devoured by stray reindeer and stuff. And then when Bruce enters, Max lies that people threw bricks at the windows, but Bruce is just like, no glass on the inside, showing a little bit of that detective aspect.
This cat's so close to Felix,
I know.
Noticing, yeah.
Yeah, it is. This scene was definitely shot because there's always this promo pic that goes around of Christopher Walken's Max-Schreck looking out a broken window, but that was never shown. Yeah, at daytime, but not shown in the movie. So I'm pretty sure the scene was shot in some capacity, and I guess they decided to cut it, which is unfortunate considering it would have showcased a little bit of Michael Keaton's Batman's intelligence, even if he is breaking character.
Walken's so good at portraying an evil dude. He's not evil. Yeah. It's not quite this evil most of the time, right? Am I missing something? He's
arguably the biggest villain of the movie.
Yeah, right? I mean, I don't know, just a good actor.
Yeah.
He's good at it. Must be why he gets paid the big bucks.
He did play the Headless Horseman. That was pretty evil.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
Even if he just screamed.
So we're looking at something that's very unique. This comes from the Burton's Gotham Instagram page. This is apparently Bruce Wayne's business card with the Wayne Industries logo. Before, we would have seen Wayne Enterprises in Batman Forever and the Nolan movies and stuff. It says Wayne Industries on it. Apparently, his phone number is 555-8500, which is obviously a fake number. 555 is the prefix for all the fake numbers in the movies. And then Wayne Industries has its own logo, which is kind of underwhelming considering what we've seen later, but it's just a WI across a black background. But it's kind of cool to see because Wayne Industries or any sort of his company is not really mentioned in the Burton movies.
Right.
And you've shown me something I've never seen before. So hats off to you. I didn't know this existed.
That's the point of our show.
It's superhero stuff I should know, and now I do know. Yeah, this is amazing to me to see. Otherwise you just assume that Bruce Wayne is just like a reclusive millionaire, and that's it.
Yeah,
there's no enterprises or industries to be spoken of.
Yeah, this would have earned it a spot on the wiki page of the Wayne Enterprises Wikipedia. Batman Returns as I'm passing the business card that says this.
Are the Nolan movies the first ones to have him in board meetings and shit?
Batman Forever.
Oh yeah, that's
doesn't really have a board meeting in that, but it's the first time that showed his company.
That's right.
Forever.
Yeah, he was actually involved in it.
Yeah,
right. That was a great little bit of Nolan humor with him asleep in the board.
Yeah,
such a great touch. It's so perfect.
Yeah. So this is a cool look at Bruce's business card and what we could have seen of Wayne Industries. But moving further, we got Cobblepot for Mayor posters here.
These are cool. This is pretty cool.
He's got it says Gotham's Defender, Oswald Cobblepot in one photo. There's another one that says on his umbrella, "He's got you covered" on the umbrella. And
does one of them say
"A ray of hope for Gotham"?
I have a question, Ben. Does one of them say "Poontang" on them anyway?
No, it does not.
Oh, okay.
Poontang for everyone.
For everyone.
And then we've got another one of him raising his arm with a banner that says "Vote" all over the place on. So these are all unused.
Umbrella.
Unlimited poontang.
That's
My
what it should say
my
at the bottom.
first
That's what it
promise
should've,
as mayor.
My
To
platform.
myself. Yes.
God, I can't believe that was a fucking line, dude. It's unbelievable.
In a Batman movie.
Yeah.
In a fucking Batman movie.
You can tell that Denny O'Neil in the comic book adaptation is deliberately censoring it because he just says women instead.
He doesn't say unlimited
He doesn't say
poontang.
unlimited poontang.
I swear
Just
Burton
took it
was
a step
like,
back.
Burton
He says,
probably
imagine
like,
as mayor, you'll have the ear of the media, women, and that's all it says.
Yeah.
period. End quote. Oh,
Way to make the
man.
line a lot less memorable.
Yeah, I mean, there is something to be said about like that line really catches you off guard, but it's still kind of it's funny. It is funny.
Also, it's
It's
hilarious
also-
that that's Penguin's motivation.
Yeah,
Like, he
Yes.
doesn't want to be mayor until Max-Schreck
Sways
tells him
him.
that.
he wants to get laid. That's it. But that's a realistic ass motivation, dude.
Two things. I never knew he was saying that as a kid because he kind of whispers it.
Yes.
And I was never watching it as a kid with captions on or anything. I didn't know what he was saying.
Mhm.
And also, I mean, I assume Penguin's at least getting with like some of these circus people, don't you think? Poodle Lady or something like that. I mean,
Yeah, but that's
they do-
limited, Zach.
Those
they
are the
do
ones-
follow. They are his followers. I mean, are they like? Is he taking advantage of them or what? I don't know. I just
Oh man,
his penguin is kind of perverted and foul.
you've
no
thought
pun
about this
intended.
before, right? Several times, I think.
Well, maybe a couple times before, but I'm just like, who is sleeping with Penguin? I gotta ask that question.
Stay up at night, dude.
We'll do that next week for next week's episode.
Somebody please make the meme of Zach sleeping and then
Yeah,
his wife on the side
I
being
bet
like,
he's thinking about other women.
but he's thinking about other women. Cut to you thinking about this penguin shit.
Who's sleeping with Danny DeVito's Penguin?
Did he die a virgin? The most tragic part of Batman Returns.
Oh man, that
33-year-old
flipper trick.
virgin.
But man,
I mean, he knows
Some
the French
women must
flipper
have
trick.
liked they must have liked the bile gush mouth somewhere, right?
Yeah, you know, people have all kinds of
somebody was into
fetishes.
those,
There's a pot. There's a lid for every pot. Everybody,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm saying?
Moving on. So, the comic adaptation has a couple other deleted scenes. One where this is while the Red Triangle Circus Gang has started doing their crime spree. And so the fat clown is telling him that a teller machine exploded, the ice rink was torched, and now the 12th Precinct reports offensive graffiti and a pharmacy heist.
I'm sorry. The what clown, Ben?
This is the fat clown. That is what he's
Hey,
named.
that is what
I
he's
think you mean
called.
the,
Okay,
Overweight, slightly.
husky clown.
Yeah. What is the word?
That is
Portly.
literally his name in the movie.
Portly
There's fat
clown.
and skinny clown or thin clown.
Piero is what it is in Spanish. So the portly Piero. I'm going with
Well,
that.
Penguin talks about how he loves to get his flippers dirty, which ties into what Zach was thinking about. Also talks about eating someone's pet, and then he starts to sit down and talks about action must be balanced with discretion, because I guess he's putting in the monocle in this image, and I guess he's still writing down the names of the list of the firstborn of Gotham. So he's still thinking of doing that right now. And in the meantime, Catwoman looks out and says, "An orgy of sex and violence? Count me in, Miss Kitty," as she's about to do her own crime spree, and this is before she blows up Shreck's department store. So this was kind of like a calm before the storm type of scene that did not make it into the movie.
Where's the sex? It's all violence in Batman Returns. You know?
Well, I don't know. The violence is sexy to her in this version. I don't know what else.
That's
I guess so.
I don't know
interesting.
what else to
And then Penguin says, "You gotta bring protection." Then he gives her a fucking umbrella. or something.
Umbrella. Oh gosh, that's the
Oswald,
biggest
that's the
parasol,
biggest parasol
I've ever seen.
I've ever seen.
Oh,
All right, moving on.
Oh man, he's fighting 3 Batman.
Batman versus Batman. So, in one of the original drafts for Daniel Waters' script, Penguin's goons would have dressed up as Batman, and the real Batman would have had to fight against them. And it was only a year or two ago where I discovered Jorge Luis Garcia Lopez's concept art for that. I don't know if this was going to be used for merchandise or whatever, but it looks pretty cool. It's Keaton's Batman versus
It
3
does.
shadowy Batmen. coming at him.
Yeah,
So
this would have been cool. They were trying to do this forever, right? The first time we really did see this was like the Dark Knight with the Joker with the, you know, that jump scare basically, right?
Oh yeah.
In that scene,
with him
the guys at the beginning and everything.
Oh, and then the hockey pad guys,
Yeah.
Yeah.
They wanted this in the sequel for Batman Returns. They wanted some sort of Batman copycat thing, which is kind of
awesome.
Been brought back in the Batman '89 comic, and so when people are just like, "Oh, they're just doing Dark Knight," I'm just like, "Oh, you don't know your history then," because historically they wanted to do it for the sequel. Sam Hamm wanted to do it. Daniel Waters tried it with this version of it, so it's always been a part of it. It just never really got to be shown on screen until the Dark Knight. So we got another shot here with him. Well, it looks like he's using the programmable Batarang on the 3 Batmen in this shot here. So that's pretty cool on it. Let's go into that Batarang. So, yes, that Batarang is programmable, but there was going to be another aspect to that we can see here. There would have been holes inside the Batarang that he would have put his fingers through to use as brass knuckles.
Good.
That's what it looks like in this flattery image.
That's kind of cool.
It is cool. I don't know how that necessarily would have worked because it's got such a pointy end. It looks like he's just going to stab people's eyes out with that thing.
It might have been better if it was reversed, so he's punching him with the broad side. At least, I mean, yes, it'd be deadlier the other way, but that's not his MO.
Yeah. Well, I mean, maybe the Keaton version, but yes.
It looks like the one without the wings on it is a one of those 90s PDAs. Remember that? Personal digital assistant.
Yep. A Palm Pilot.
Look what I did to the PDA.
My Palm Pilot. Yes. Oh my God.
My deadly Palm Pilot.
Yes.
But we ended up getting the design we got. Here it is still with the holes in it. So that's kind of cool, I think. It's a cool idea, but didn't make it to the movie. Now we're looking at storyboards from the previous artist I mentioned earlier, who did the storyboards of Selina falling. So this is also by Michael Anthony Jackson. And these images might look familiar. We're looking at Selina leaping across rooftops, another one of Selina about to jump off a rooftop, another one of Batman looking over the city on the corner of the building, and another one of Catwoman jumping down about to confront Batman. Zach, have you seen these images before?
It looks like either Year One or The Long Halloween or something like that.
You know, I looked into
I have seen these storyboards before, yes. But I was trying to think what they reminded me of.
I have an idea. The Batman '89 comic.
Hey.
Joe Quinones actually used these storyboards
to
base some of the images in his comic panels. This is such a deep dive. I did not even discover it in time for the video essay last time. So I have to put this stuff into the next video essay on issue 4 because I missed that shit.
Look at him grow.
Thanks to this, thank you. I'm learning every day. So thanks to this episode, we get to see that this pose was copied by Quinones as a tribute to Michael Anthony Jackson. But we also got this image of Catwoman about to leap off the rooftop, also by Michael Anthony Jackson for the storyboard. Mind you, these shots were not in the movie either. So this is a hell of a deep cut that Quinones is referencing here. And then kind of the image of Batman looking out at the tip of the corner of a building. In a way, it's not as direct of a reference in this shot we're looking at here, but it's close enough to one, and it's been in a scene that has all the other stuff that it's pretty much it. So I'll be adding those back into the '89 coverage when the next issue comes out, whenever the hell that is. So I thought that was cool on that.
Awesome.
It's cool.
This is a shot of the vault where all the Batsuits are held. Now, supposedly, this is concept art for the Batman Returns video game, from what I found in the auction. But it does look pretty close to the general idea of the one in the movie, except it wasn't hung up like this. This looks like 3 different mannequins that hold different Batsuits, as opposed to the movie where they're like all on different hangers and there's different parts that he has to take. So this is kind of an early design of that type of stuff.
That's cool.
Moving further, we're getting into the sequence of the time where Penguin takes over the Batmobile. So we got the Batmobile crashing into the fire hydrant. We got Batman trying to take back control. The Batmobile explodes out of an alley in this storyboard. We've got another one where he kind of destroys a banner that says Merry Christmas.
Shameful.
I know, right? And then this is interesting. This looks like the inside of the RV where Penguin is doing his stuff and trying to take over the Batmobile. So some of the stuff didn't quite make it into the movie in terms of certain shots, but the overall idea is still there of him trying to take it over and Batman fighting for control over it. He opens up a panel in this shot right here that we're looking at in the storyboards so that he can take back control. It says reverse, parentheses, I don't believe this, as in Batman's thought process at the moment when he's trying to
that's cool.
trying to take back control. So that's cool. And then it looks like he's finally able to get back control of the Batmobile. We just have some shots of the wheels here, and it says machine guns appear. He can't control the guns, so Penguin's still... Okay, well, that's interesting. Actually, I didn't catch that the first time I put this in. Yeah, it says Batman can't control the guns. That's not in the movie, but that would have been deadly on it. So the Batmobile is firing around thanks to Penguin, so that would have made things deadlier if Penguin ended up killing anybody with the Batmobile.
Well, look, he was trying to shoot Batman. He's got that gun spinning around back towards him.
It points toward
inside. It says Batman ducks instinctively.
God damn it, why did I install 360-degree turning turrets on this fucking car?
Maybe he used them earlier in the movie to shoot off those guys that were on his windshield. Then he had to wipe off the blood.
Again, why would I ever need to point it towards the canopy?
He's trying to turn the power off in this shot here. And then it looks like Penguin's at the keyboard constantly, negating all of Batman's moves. So this looks like a more intense sequence than what we got in the movie, actually, where like there's more of a cat and mouse game between the two of them. Batman tries to do something, Penguin does something else, all this sorts of stuff. This does not seem to... I don't remember this type of stuff specifically in the script, so that's why I'm a little more thrown off by the storyboards, because I'm like, wait, I don't remember this on these things. But they're trying new shit, like what if this happened, or what if that happened?
I guess it is like the big action piece of the film, like one of the big action pieces with the Batmobile.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It even has a chute pop out from the back of the Batmobile in this shot here.
Have to turn the afterburner off.
Yeah, because otherwise,
the damn
whoops. And then we're looking at concept of when the Batmobile turns into the Batmissile, which is cool on here. And here's another shot of the Batmissile itself.
Damn,
that's beautiful.
That's how he got away, and it looks like it's got gold wheels in this version.
I love that.
That's cool.
So
yeah,
that's pretty cool.
This is pretty awesome.
Now, as you guys might remember from the script deep dive in the Daniel Waters script, in order to get back control of the Batmobile, he had to turn to an orphan kid who worked as a mechanic, who of course was going to be Marlon Wayans as Robin at that time. Robin himself would not have had really the Robin suit. If it was the Marlon Wayans one, he would have just had a mechanic outfit with the R on it. We have not been able to find any real concept art. The closest we've got is the Joe Quinones art for the Batman 89 comic that's just kind of referencing that script. However, I do have the closest that we've got to the concept art of Robin for Batman Returns. But don't hold your breath in terms of a great look at him, because he's kind of a stick figure. So if you squint your eyes on this, these are storyboards I found on Facebook. Forgive me, I don't remember the source, but it says Batman plus Kid, because he was called the Kid in the script. Batman plus Kid silhouetted against oncoming lights. And then the next shot was Penguin and the gang step out of the light. Various quick cuts of the fight to be choreographed. During the fight, Batman sees, and then the next shot is the Kid move. The Kid, more than holding his own, looks like he's doing a judo throw on a guy.
Yeah, it's cool.
And Batman and the future Robin end up fighting Penguin and the gang. This type of scene isn't really in the Daniel Waters draft either. There is a part where they do encounter the Red Triangle Circus Gang, but Penguin's not with them. So I'm not really sure what version this is from, but... unfortunately, you don't really get a good look at Robin in this at all. He's just kind of a regular guy in this, but it's the closest that we've got. Forgive me, I don't remember the specific source. I did find this on, I think it's the Michael Keaton's Batman Facebook group on it, but for all we know, that maybe this could even be some fan storyboard type of stuff. I don't know, but if it's not, then this is the closest we've got to Marlon Wayans as Robin at that time, so it's a cool shot. Next, we've got a deleted scene from the Shreck's department store Christmas party, the Max-Schreck-and ball, where he gives kind of a speech that ends with him saying, "Shake your booties," which I wish that they filmed so I could hear Christopher Walken
Shake
say
your
that.
booties. I know. Here, I'm going to read it as Christopher Walken.
Go ahead. Yeah.
I'm just going to Blow this up a little bit so I can see it.
Yeah.
Attention, shoppers. Like this splendid department store, Gotham City can quickly bounce back from the tumult of the past few days. So, deck the halls and shake your booties.
Max-Schreck, everybody. We've recreated a scene from Batman Returns you didn't even know was around.
Exactly.
Exclusively from Superhero Stuff You Should Know.
Indeed.
Thank you, Zach.
So this is of course mostly the famous scene where Bruce and Selina discover each other's identities.
Do they have those pocket watches at this department store or what? You know what I'm talking about?
Oh my God, from Pulp Fiction.
Yeah.
You gotta shake your booty to get the watch out.
So,
my father.
During this scene where Bruce and Selina dance, we would have also had a scene of Gordon and Alfred. Gordon was really not in enough of this movie, but Gordon and Alfred have a commentary on this where Gordon calls them a darling couple, and Alfred says, yes, made for each other. So, nice little small moment there.
Yeah.
Also, Alfred would have been at the party, which I don't think we really saw in the movie either.
I can't imagine him being there, to be honest.
Yeah. It's weird. It's weird to sort of picture that. But it would have been kind of cool to see Alfred and Gordon have a scene because Pat Hingle and Michael Goff were like the mainstays of this franchise. And so they didn't really have screen time together, I don't think. Like in Batman Forever, when Gordon drops off Dick Grayson, he leaves before Alfred comes in. So,
yeah, Alfred's inside and he's outside. Yeah, I don't think they are ever on screen together.
Which is a shame, considering that they're the only two actors in all 4 movies. So this would have given them something. I don't know if they shot this. There's no pictures I could find, but this is the closest we've got, is in the comic adaptation. All right, so Penguin arrives, takes Max-Schreck, and what's not in the movie is that he wants to make sure no one follows, so he has the Penguins inside launch their rockets so that it explodes part of the party and people run away. So
that would have been awesome.
That would have been him covering his tracks. And then in the script, as well as the comic adaptation, we would have seen a montage of the Red Triangle Circus members actually kidnapping the children.
Horrific.
Across Gotham. Yeah. Which
They're
you can
all
totally
clowns.
tell.
That would be so cool, actually. Like
you can hear the Elfman music.
Yeah, this would be so scary
the children's
and cool.
hour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they just come for each one. You've got this kid brushing his teeth. Another, like, there's like a baby sleeping in a crib. You've got another kid just watching Santa Claus on TV before this other clown is about to take him. We've got them passing children out the windows to each other. It's pretty elaborate. It would have been terrifying. I could see Warner Brothers being like, look, in this movie with all
Let's
this
dial it back.
stuff, let's dial it back by just cutting this scene out.
So this artwork is from the comic that put the whole unused script into the new 89 comic?
No. This is the comic book adaptation of Batman Returns. So this is...
Okay.
They used to do this back in the day, but they would have a comic book adaptation of the movie where they would just turn the movie into a comic. And, originally as a kid, I was just like, well, what's the point of that? Like, I can just watch the movie. And then what gave them popularity is the fact that you have scenes that didn't make it into the movie.
Oh, yeah, because they probably make it from an early script as well.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Or at least the final, like, pre-final cut, like one of the later cuts, because they have to like get this out, and they're trying to time the comic around the time of the release of the movie. So sometimes that's how like novelizations still have some stuff that's deleted scenes in there because they're working from an earlier version of the movie. So because of the fact the comic book adaptation has scenes that are in the script that just didn't get brought to life on film, this is the closest we're going to get to seeing them on there. So that's why those are there. But yeah, this is not really concept art specifically, but I gave it a pass because we're going into all sorts of deleted shit anyway in this. So
right.
We might as well.
Yeah, that's cool.
So we're about to dive into the deepest of dives in Batman Returns, which is all the different concept art designs for the Penguins.
I mean, if you're doing Batman Returns, though, you have to do this.
So
this is important. This is important stuff right here.
We have a few designs of the gear that the Penguins wear on the the helmets that they wear in order for Penguin to control them. And some of the stuff that we're about to look at is pretty close to what we saw in the movie, but we see other stuff like this. So we have we got a chainsaw wielding Penguin.
Is great.
He looks like he's got a Leatherface type of mask on.
Yeah, the artist is having a good time with this one.
And He's wearing a mechanism on his chest that spurts out this chainsaw. I don't know where the fuck this was going to fit into the movie, because it's not like the Penguins just have to launch rockets. They don't have to kill people with saws, but this is hilarious.
I would love to see him like waddle into like a little old lady's apartment or just buzzing with like maybe the Gremlins music playing behind him.
They come in with those clowns that are kidnapping children.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would have been dark, but Burton's the only one who could have pulled that shit off.
Yeah. Yeah.
So looking more, we got another one with a punching.
I love this
boxing
one too.
glove coming out of his chest, and he looks like he's wearing
a Hawaiian shirt,
almost a Hawaiian shirt, but it's got boxing punching gloves designs all over it. It's red. It's a white shirt with boxing gloves all over it. It's weird.
The box that the punching glove is coming out of is like blue with kind of like tiger stripes painted on it, but a deep navy blue.
Yeah, that's true.
It's a weird look going on there, but I like it.
Yeah. Next we have. At first I thought this penguin was raising his flippers, but he's actually wearing. Yeah, it looks like they're wearing. I don't even know how to describe this.
Grenade
different
launchers?
From the rockets. This could be grenade launchers that are on like around where their shoulders would be. This penguin specifically has grenades across his waist.
I don't know how he's going to grab them.
I don't know.
Don't have any thumbs.
Those flippers don't work that well. Why are we being realistic with this anyway?
I should have thought this through.
I feel like these penguins would have been better for like the movie Hook. I feel like that the Lost Boys at the end, they have all these weird fucking little like gadgets on, and that one of him with it's like he's got tacks or something and two glass bulbs on his shoulders and pipes
are shooting from his shoulders.
Down. Yeah, it reminds me of Hook. That's like one kid has that, but they're marbles or something like that to fight the pirates.
Yeah,
that is like such a weird idea.
Yeah, this to me implies that maybe they had other possibilities to work with the Penguin Army outside of just launching the rockets, but I don't know. It's hilarious, but also I'm just like it was pushing it enough to have the penguins with the rockets on them. To have this would have just been a whole other level.
Yeah.
Do you think Penguin himself put all those rockets on all of them, or the Red Triangle Gang helped?
No, the gang does it, man.
The
Come
gang
on.
helped.
Well,
this penguin has extra on his flipper.
Penguin's too busy having sex with Poodle Lady.
No,
he can't be dealing with that shit.
So look, think about it. The Red Triangle Circus Gang is out kidnapping the kids. Batman's already blown up one of them earlier, the strongman guy. They're all out there getting the kids. They're on the train. Batman stops them. I'm assuming he arrests them or does what he does.
Poodle Lady's the only one who's
he sends the monkey. He sends the monkey back with a note to Penguin. After that, then Penguin has this little, speech to the Penguin Army about what they're going to do next. So that means, was this a plan he already had? Is this a backup plan? How long did it take him to get all the gear on the Penguins and get all this shit ready to go?
We're not supposed to think about this, Zach.
I am.
You gave this so much thought, dude.
He also has some gang members, because remember, he sees all of them abandoned him. So there's still some gang members left over.
There's a couple little acrobats or something flipping around.
The acrobats put this on. Yeah.
I only asked because I drew a picture of it one time. I drew a picture of the penguin sitting there with like a screwdriver putting together the little backpack.
Really? You should post that online.
I gotta find it. It's in like an old sketchbook or something. I just remember thinking like, how did this work? Yeah. All right.
Looking at this penguin right now, it looks like the one in the movie, except he's got like little mini missiles strapped to his flippers, and you don't know how the hell he's supposed to use them.
No idea. But this is fairly close. We're getting close to the screen one. So it's like he's got like a metal-looking vest. He's got like these 3 dart-looking mini missile-looking things on his flipper. He's got like a metal cap on with an antenna
and a little spy thing, or what do you want to call it?
Like he gets a monocle.
He got a monocle too. And that'd be cool if they all had monocles, just like their master. They're like, we have perfect vision. What are you doing? It looks cool. And the coup de grace is he got the fucking red and white striped missile rocket thing on the back, on his back.
Yeah. Candy cane missile.
Candy cane missile, yeah.
Ooh. So, and then this is pretty close too.
It's like a flamethrower penguin.
Yeah, it's got a flamethrower type of thing. Actually, that's different.
That's
This
awesome.
is from Stan Winston's. Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I like
so
these
we're looking
little
at
costumes. Yeah, they all have little. And some of them don't have just gear on for the listeners at home. Some of them, like we talked about, those like Hawaiian shirts. They have like little outfits on too, like clothing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, this one seems to have pretty like old school elaborate like circus stripes and stuff. So that's cool.
Like a little Beetlejuice penguin mix up there with a coat.
Dan also provided us with some behind the scenes look at the penguins, because obviously the ones that were strapped up with the rockets were not real on it, but they looked pretty realistic on it thanks to the Stan Winston workshop. So we're looking at early designs here.
This is really cool. So, just as a really side thing, Legacy, now you probably heard, if you've ever watched Marvel behind the scenes, Legacy does all the Marvel stuff.
Yeah.
And Legacy is Stan Winston's legacy. So, in a sense,
That's cool.
Stan Winston still going on in a way, but just under another name.
Cool. Yeah. I mean, he was master at all this type of stuff. The animatronics on the penguins are pretty top notch, because it's like it's you know logically that they can't be real, but they just feel so realistic and stuff.
Yeah,
So-
that getting that waddle down without making them fall down must have been tough. But they had a little person in it.
Yeah, some of them were actually like little people
Some of them,
in costumes with animatronic heads.
Yeah.
Some of them were real penguins that were trained, and some of them were
Really?
like animatronic ones that were like for close-up shots. Yeah, none of the ones where the missiles are going off are real, but like when you see them running through the town, like a lot of those close-up shots, they're real penguins. But then they have like kind of early CGI for the far-away shots where it's like the penguins are converging in Central Plaza, and you see like all of them standing around. Like a lot of those are CGI, but yeah, it was a big mixture of all these different ones.
1992 CG.
Yeah.
That's right.
A little bit more of the making of it. So
This
you can
is
see
cool.
what Dak was talking about. You got the penguin head at the top, and then you've got the person inside their head right underneath.
It's so cool for me because I take these kind of photos now for my job.
Yeah, that's true.
Like these effects shop photos. So it's like, is there going to be like a future podcast
There will be.
20 years from now with using my fucking shit? ThunderwolfDrew.com, by the way, everybody.
Good plug.
I think it's very likely that there will be.
Slide it in.
A little bit more of them playing with the animatronics, as we can see here on it. But at this point, like it's tough to tell that it's even like a fake one, on it. So those are the Penguin Army. Let's go into the Bat Ski Boat is what we got. So we're looking at early designs of the Bat Ski Boat right here. This one, when I first saw it, it looked almost like the Batwing. I'm just like, there wasn't going to be another Batwing in this, but I realized it was supposed to be the Bat Ski Boat. So this looks slightly different. It looks almost a little bit more plane-like, honestly, like a plane.
Yeah.
On it, it's got wings and everything, and I don't know. There's almost sort of like a shark-like vibe to it too.
Yeah.
Bro, I'm now thinking the Batwing gets shot down in Tibet and he has to blow the wings off. It turns into this Bat ski boat thingy. Then he gets out to reveal the white Batsuit.
Yes.
Awesome.
Oh shit!
That looks
Another
good.
shot.
Warner Brothers should pay us for this shit. They should be our
They should,
Patreon patron.
Ben, what did it say on the last one? Next to the tire tread, what does it say there? Dual something?
I can't really make
Dual
it out,
treads.
honestly. Yeah. Oh yeah. that is,
Okay.
dual treads.
Yeah, because I was thinking, I was like, how is it a boat when it's got this like tank tread tires on the back? But the next one does look like the actual bat ski boat.
Yeah. So this is a little closer, but yeah, almost. It still kind of looks like a plane to me from this angle. But naturally, when we get to this shot here in the sewer, which is what we're looking at, it looks a little closer to what we got. So we got the wings kind of sliding on the floor of the sewer tunnel, and so this is a great shot over here.
This is cool.
How do you think he got it in the sewer?
Poodle lady helped him out whenever she wasn't being banged out by Penguin.
I asked this because there's like, I think it's a game for Batman Returns, like a board game, but I swear it had.
Oh really?
Maybe it's a racing thing with the bat ski boat and like the Penguin's Duckmobile, but I swear the artwork has them like racing across like a frozen pond or lake or something like that.
Oh, that would be
I got to
cool.
see if I can find it. But yeah, I always think about that. I was like, was he arriving? How did he get the Bat ski boat there?
There should be a DC Vehicles racing game. You know?
Oh,
yeah.
Again, Warner Brothers, you gotta just hire us. I mean, the ideas are coming out just so easy today.
Yeah.
But like all the Batmobiles, whatever the fuck Green Arrow fucking
Duckmobile.
drives.
The
Aeromobile.
The Aeromobile. Every vehicle, it's gonna be mostly Batmobiles, let's be honest, but
Yeah.
any other DC, and like be a kind of a fun, like not like Wacky Racers, maybe not like that silly, but it could be on the silly side.
Yeah.
Be a cool game.
Yeah,
Those McDonald's
I think
toys of cars. That's what I want to see.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Catwoman, her little Catmobile.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
The tail waving. Or wagging, I should say.
it would make sense, but like, or just have the Flash racing
In a car.
in a car just to slow him down. I don't know.
No, it's a Flintstones car, so he can move his feet to power it.
Still faster than all.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
perfect. That's perfect, dude. Oh my god, man, that's great. That's great.
Warner Brothers, heed our calls.
Oh my god, are you fucking kidding me? If this game comes out in 2 years, you know where you heard it first, everybody. You know what I mean? Like
Let's go into
multiverses spin-off instead of a platform fighter. It's a racing game.
Multiverses, yeah.
Yeah, it'd be cool. Yeah.
Yeah. We got the inside of the console of the Bat ski boat, so that's cool. Very steampunkish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brassy.
Here, this is by Jock Ray. Here, so similar stuff to what we've seen before. You also see sort of the radar of the different penguins right here.
It looks like it could be in Heavy Metal Magazine as well.
Yeah,
You know.
that's true. So
That kind of art.
we have a little bit more of a souped up. This is almost one of the ones we're looking at. Almost looks a little bit Nolan-esque, tank-like.
Yeah.
To me.
Manta Ray.
Yeah, it's a very different take on it by. I mean, it looks top right. Looks like these are by Tim Flattery instead of the ones we've been looking at. But yeah, these look much like this would have just taken up the whole tunnel. I don't think he would have been able to move in this one.
Yep. He'd been scraping the penguins along the wall there.
Yeah.
Take them out.
We just keep rewriting like a more R-rated version. We got Penguin sleeping with a poodle lady, so he doesn't die a virgin. We got Bruce Wayne shitting on Penguin's eye, and we've got this scraping of the penguin.
Yes.
Dude, this is
Along with Texas Chainsaw Penguin.
the red letter cut for returns, whatever you call it, red box
Red
or whatever.
book edition.
The
Red
Poontang cut.
Poontang, unlimited Poontang cut. Release the unlimited Poontang cut. Start the hashtag, please.
This time you get to see the Poontang.
People can be like, what's that cut?
It's Poodle.
All right, so
Poodle Poontang.
we're looking at the last design of the Bat ski boat that I think is most interesting because of something that it says. So this kind of looks like what you would expect a kind of a ski boat thing to look like. We've got skis in the front. However, we got this little turret area here, and it says Robin stands here.
Oh,
and
cool.
controls
I'll
it.
be damned.
So Robin was going to be on the Bat ski boat. With it looks like Batman's in the cockpit in the front, and Robin's at the top inside of this thing that's I don't know, shooting out weapons and projectiles.
He's exposed to the sewer air out there.
Yeah, I know. It's gonna have a lot of sewer mosquitoes just getting this fucking grill.
Damn it, Bruce!
It looks a lot less bat-like than the other designs.
Yeah. But it is interesting because I'm just like, shit, like this is another take on how Robin could have been part of the finale. Because he is a part of it in the script, but he's not on the Bat ski boat. I don't remember, I don't think he is in the Daniel Waters draft. So it's interesting they're playing around with that idea.
This just looks like it could be like a Toxic Avenger.
Yeah.
Sewer shark or sewer vehicle.
Sewer surfer. Yeah.
Sewer surfer. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was fascinating to me. Like, this is another reason why, like, before we started recording, I'm like, I have to add in all these pictures I took from the Farrago book because we couldn't find this on the internet. I forgot about seeing this in here until I re-looked again and saw, like, oh shit, there would have been Robin on the thing. So that's pretty cool. We got more looks of Arctic World, including the Bat ski boat, a bigger version of the Bat ski boat, arriving at Arctic World over here. So that's kind of cool. And then we've got a shot here of another take on Arctic World. So you guys might remember in the Daniel Waters draft, Arctic World would have been also part of like this abandoned fairground We have a Ferris wheel here. We got this big roller coaster that's all around it, and that's where Penguin and Batman were going to fight in the Daniel Waters draft.
It's on the water,
this is the closest
too.
we got to seeing that. Yeah, that too. So
it looks
very
like
different.
it reminds me of Claw Island from Batman Forever a little bit.
There's a bit of that. There's a bit of, it kind of reminds me too of the fairground from The Dark Knight Returns. A little bit, with the big roller coaster.
Yeah.
So there's that aspect too. But yeah, another flattery design that unfortunately didn't make it to the movie.
It would have been
cool
to see Batman and Penguin fighting on the roller coaster on like a duck or something like that.
Yeah, that too. So that would have been awesome, but didn't make it. Speaking of the duck, there's the duck getting taken out by the bat ski boat, and Penguin just crawling his ass out on here. Still with the top hat on.
Yep,
So,
kept it on.
Still,
that's cool.
the top hat has to stay on.
And then we get to the ending where we have a deleted scene, or last deleted scene, where Batman has defeated Penguin and Catwoman. Batman apparently has cleared his name because the bat signal is shining. And Gordon asks, "Think you'll ever forgive us? Do you think Batman will ever forgive us?" to the mayor. And the mayor is like, "Probably not, but he'll always help us," is what he says. Now, to me, this is weird because I'm just like, shouldn't it be the opposite in terms of the characters? Shouldn't the mayor be like, "Do you think Batman will forgive us?" And Gordon being like, he'll always be there to help us.
Yeah, it's almost like they mixed it up or something by accident.
Or is it supposed to be like they want Batman to forgive them for falsely blaming Batman?
Yeah, because of the fact Penguin framed him, and so Gotham thought that Batman was a criminal. And so I think there's like, do you think he'll forgive us for turning on him? That type of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, in the script, it's the same exchange between Gordon and the mayor. The mayor's the one who says, he'll always be there to help us. And I always thought that was weird. Like, you just reverse.
He's not going to be around. He's not going to be around by Batman Forever, so what does he care? These mayors just come and go all the time.
Yeah, mayors come and go. So
Blue Bloods tire easy.
We got one more thing I wanted to show you guys. This is apparently by Bob Kane, and this is Penguin on his like little helicopter umbrella thing, shooting his machine gun umbrella at Michael Keaton's Batman on the rooftops of Gotham. However, it might not also be by Bob Kane because Bob Kane was notoriously using ghost artists, so who knows who did this.
I do like the artwork itself. I will say that.
Yeah.
I've seen this one before. I do enjoy it.
So maybe Bob Kane didn't do this, is what you're saying.
Maybe.
Did he ever color as well, or is he just a penciler or whatever?
It's hard to tell because we don't know how much he did versus like someone else.
Yeah, right? Is it anywhere in keeping with his previous style? Or did he evolve his style to this? Like, it looks pretty modern for a guy that was drawing in the 40s.
I know, right? Yeah.
When I see, there is like a special feature, I think it's on the Batman 89 special edition DVDs, but when it shows him drawing, he's doing a really close-up drawing of like Batman's face and Joker's face, and they look almost like Dick Sprang or something. They don't look quite like his original style, but it's like he's doing it with a thick, like chisel tip Sharpie. Well, that's all I've ever seen him do.
Okay.
And I've seen him standing next to pictures of his paintings, but that's the only time I've ever actually seen him draw.
Yes. So
Okay.
that is it when it comes to the different concept art. This Bob Kane one isn't technically concept art, but I included it just because of the whole trivia factor of it. But that's what we got. Did you guys have a favorite among the concept art that we looked at? Starting with Zach.
Zach, you go. I need to remember.
Ooh.
Let's see some slides while he's thinking.
I know. I got to think about all this stuff too.
We saw so much today.
I know. We saw Batman Returns in a way that we've never seen before. So let's take a look.
So I'll say that number one, my favorite thing I saw was that Wayne Industries card because I had never seen that before. So that was something legitimately that I did not know. But I think out of all this stuff that I think is really cool to look at, I do like that Catwoman mask with the nose on it. I really like seeing that because it's so interesting to me to see like what could have been with just such a simple change. So yeah, I think that's kind of cool. But definitely that card, the business card, is pretty cool.
Yeah. How about you, Andrew? Snow
Batman. Yeah. I mean, the Bat sled. I could have seen. I didn't grow up in a snowy area at all, but I would have loved to have taken a sled ride down that thing.
That's true. Yeah.
But I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I do like Burton's sketches. I think it's like, even if you'd never and that Catwoman with the nips out. But like, if you would never shown somebody, if you've just seen Burton's movies, and then you showed them the sketches for the first time, I feel like you'd kind of get it already, like instinctively. Like, he just has his style, all to his own. So, and then just thinking about all the Batman racing games we could have. WB Wacky Racers. That's what I want. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I liked it all.
Nice. Yeah, I'm always a fan of all the like unused stuff, which is why I think a lot of our audience likes their stuff too. To me, some of the most shocking stuff is the stuff involving Robin, just because of how rare it is. Just that storyboard with him in it, kind of is just like, oh shit, or like the Bat ski boat having that part on there just for him, kind of just shows that like they were still playing around with it in some way. I wish there was more, and maybe there is. We just haven't uncovered it. But that's some of my favorite stuff on there, as well as some of the original like design stuff that didn't make it, like the brass knuckles Batarang. That would have been cool, but ultimately, I think some of the deleted scenes, I'm like, I'm fine with it not being in the movie. Some of the designs.
Buzzsaw Penguin. I forgot about that.
I love Chainsaw. Yeah, I do love Buzzsaw Penguin.
But yeah, that is a good one.
But ultimately, this is not like it's not like a Schumacher cut, Snyder cut situation, I don't think, where it's just like, oh, like what we could have had. I'm just like, what we could have had was cool, but not so essential that it would have made that much of a better movie. It only feels kind of cool because of the fact that we've grown up with this movie and have like seen it so many times that something different kind of stands out, but it's not really needed. We don't need the Batman store. We don't need the brass knuckle Batarang. We don't need
that's true.
Robin.
This is how good Burton was, right? Like, it seems like we got pretty much the best decisions from all the possible decisions that could have been made, from judging from the artwork and everything. Like, the store was taken out for one. No sleds, like they took out, but the Buzzsaw Penguin's funny, but it's probably a little much, so yeah, it's we got probably got the best version, because sometimes it's like, why didn't they fucking leave that in there, but other times, you can see why they took it out, man.
Yeah. Well, that is the unused Batman Returns concept art, and that is superhero stuff you should know. All right, first off, thank you very much. Whoa.
What are you doing?
Not include. What am I doing? I'm going back.
Man, we have more unused. Welcome to the third part of this episode, everybody.
Another look at Penguin going through the records. This is kind of
Swish it up on you.
Yeah. So that's the reward for all you guys who actually stick around.
That's right.
Listen to the comments and stuff, and don't just exit immediately.
Probably a lot of people are like, "Thanks again, Andrew, Ben, and Zach." Right when that fucking pops up.
Gonna start talking about a Barkbox and shit. So
on to Sword and Scale or some other podcast.
All right. So you never know. Every now and then we might have something after that is superhero stuff you should know, just to keep you on your toes. I think we just accidentally created a new tradition.
Yeah.
Over here.
There you go.
So big thanks to our research assistant, Dan, who really just pulled out all the stops and trying to get us as much shit as possible. I added some things, but he added a majority of this type of stuff. So big thanks to you, Dan, for that, and he's a big reason why we've got this episode. Moving on. In the theme of what we were talking about, one of our subscribers, Peter Tennant, had a comment about the unmade Batmobiles on film and TV, commenting on the one that was supposedly developed by Bob Kane. Peter said, quote, "Bob didn't draw that, ghost artist." You know what? I don't disagree.
Yeah, you're probably right there, Pete. No argument from this podcast.
Nope. Thank you for your comment. Moving on to the next one.
Yeah.
Thanks, Pete.
Oliver Emerald says, guys, it would be fantastic to see a video in which you talk about all of Batman's gadgets. It's a vast subject.
Let's rank them.
Wow.
We could rank them. We can go into the unused stuff, like the Batarang that could have been Brass Knuckles Batarang in Batman Returns. We got a whole bunch of other stuff that was in, the unmade scripts. So I got to dive deep into that. Nobody's really done an episode specifically on like the unmade Bat gadgets, but that could be cool on that. So I think it's a great idea.
Or just ranking some of the top gadgets.
That too.
Also.
Or ranking Batarang designs.
That'd be cool. And like the shield from Batman 66.
Oh, yeah, that too.
I'd like to see more Bat Shield. I've always thought that was cool.
All right, I think we just came up with like 5 different episodes.
Man, we
just
got
off this comment alone.
So
Thank
many.
you, Oliver.
Thank you, Oliver.
And then the last one comes from Mr. Eli Mack on the What If Hulk was made in the 90s. This was a great deep dive on a movie I've only heard about and never actually looked into. You guys talking about movie scripts that didn't get made is my favorite series that you all do. It's ours too. I've always been intrigued by projects that never got made. I'm curious if you'd all be interested in talking about the history of the multiple attempts to get a Spider-Man movie made, pre-Raimi. From the development in the early 80s, where Stan Lee himself wrote a draft for producer Roger Corman and Orion Pictures, to the draft that had Spider-Man be a werewolf-esque creature with Menahem Golan and Yoram Gobles at Canon Films, to the draft by Ted Newsom and John Brancato with Doc Ock as the villain, to the rights going to Kuroko Pictures with James Cameron potentially rewriting that draft, to James Cameron's script treatment with Electro and Sandman. That's a lot. I've researched this history too much and would love to hear your thoughts on the history. Again, you're looking into the future of a Spider-Man series that we will eventually do, because that is a shit ton of scripts and development and stuff.
Yeah.
But you might get something along those lines pretty soon, I would say. Wouldn't you say, Zach?
I think so.
I've heard
Wink.
the James Cameron one. If you remember when Maguire came out, the Maguire ones, he doesn't have the cartridges, right? It just comes out of his skin.
Organic webbing. Yeah.
Cameron came up with the organic web shooters. Yeah.
Was that Cameron? I heard Cameron actually wanted to go back, or was it him?
I think Cameron came up with it first, and then it carried over into the.
Oh, and that
stuff.
carried over.
Yeah.
Okay, I remember the people talking about that at the time, and like. The Cameron one had like almost no origin story. It just like had a montage in the beginning or something.
He was ahead of the game.
I haven't read it.
Cameron was not going to spend a lot of time on the origin. Apparently, he's just going to get right to it. I could be wrong, but I remember hearing that.
I think that fits for today, but not necessarily when you're first introducing Spider-Man to big screen audiences.
Yeah, it's true, but I wonder if he was. I mean, Batman '89 didn't really do a whole lot of origin either. So like I wonder. I just wonder. We'll have to just deep dive that, won't we, guys?
Yes, we will.
Ultimate
Spider-Man
comics, I think, were the first ones to do the organic webbing, and that was like I think late '90s. I gotta check out the timeline. Ultimate Spider-Man. I remember that was like a big deal that he was like going back. It was like a reboot a little bit where they had him go back to being a high school student or college student. He's younger.
Yeah.
I remember him having the organic webbing in that.
Zach, I need you to rank right now for us. So if your Batman fandom is at a level 100, where on a scale of 1 to 100 is your Spider-Man fandom?
I would say probably at a good solid 90.
That close. Damn.
Yeah,
okay.
He's my favorite Marvel hero for sure.
Copy that. All right.
Nice.
I thought it was close. I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah.
Well, we'll have some Spider-Man coverage coming to you soon, Mr. Eli Mack. On to the shout-outs.
Oh, man. We're there again, everybody. So we got Shasta, Leom O, Super Inframan, Douglas P, Dan D, Aaron, Willett, Nick, Noach, Jesse E, Jeffrey R, Scott V, Asgers Web, Jeremy H, Alex of the What Mean Podcast, Ian Justice, Jared P, Paul C, Jamie H, Rochelle L, Terra, M, Matthew B, Skyler, and a new one, TD. Thank you, everybody. Those are our Patreones. And then we got our other supporters, Spark Again, STCT Productions, Robert Schumann, Kooky Noms, Matt Herring, Elijah B, Shamrock Bowles, Ian H, Walter the Wobot, John Wells, Rye Guy, Jackson Putnam, and Tway N. Thank you, everybody. Please join us at patreon.com/superherostuffpod. That's where you get the $1, $5, and $10 tier. $1 tier gets you the shout-out. $5 tier gets you a whole other show every Friday. Cancel anytime. And then you got the $10 tier that gives you everything included, plus the everything from $1 and $5 tiers, plus the monthly meetup, which is we all meet up together online in a Zoom-like fashion and have a themed topic and make fun of things and chuckle at each other and, and stuff like that. So so check that out. That's patreon.com/superherostuffpod. Get our merch at superhousepod.redbubble.com and superherostuffpod.threadless.com. Still don't have that artwork for Jokula.
I'm just not
Somebody
even
please
thinking
remind
it's
me during the
ever
week.
gonna happen.
Somebody please remind me. Anyway, that artwork is by Stefan Santa Cruz. And then we got, please send us some audio for the love of fucking God. superhousepodcast@gmail.com. And you too can be on the show. I'm Thunderwolf Drew on Instagram and Twitter. Thunderwolf Lives on YouTube, where I do more like Japanese and gaming and that kind of content, Japanese culture on there. And then I'm thunderwolfdrew.com, where you can see my portfolio for photos and video. And then I got amanorecon.com, AMANORECON.com. This artwork by the lovely Jokula himself, here with us today.
French flipper trick.
Mr. French flipper trick. Amano Recon is an original idea for a show that I am directing and producing. It's going to be an Indiegogo campaign to which you can donate some fundage. Think Stranger Things meets Power Rangers. And I do kind of want to throw in a little bit of Jason in there, or like even Freddy. Like, what if Power Rangers fought Jason? It'd be such a fun idea. But anyway, it's R-rated. It's sci-fi horror comedy. And the main influences are Power Rangers, Stranger Things, and X-Files. So there's that. And that's it. Ben.
Nice. Shout out to Comic Capital on Instagram, as well as the Everything Entertainment Club on Clubhouse. You can follow us on Twitter at SuperhousePod, Instagram at Superhero Stuff Pod, TikTok, Superhero Stuff Pod, Vero, Superhero Stuff Pod. My website is benwanrider.com, where you can read a couple scripts of mine. A Gotham script called Gotham Vampire, where young Bruce faces off against the Golden Age villain, the Mad Monk. And the spec script for Elementary called The Death of Sherlock Holmes, a modern update on the adventure of the dying detective story. My YouTube channel is in the description below, where you can also check out my project Doctor Who, The Ronin of Time. It's an audio drama I wrote, narrated, edited, spent way too much time on, thumbnail by my assistant Dan. On this is the Doctor Who, the 8th Doctor meets Miyamoto Musashi before going off to the Time War and stuff. And I'll have one other project until basically my fanfiction days are over on this. Just getting all my stuff, all my different characters out of the system until, and then focusing on more original stuff, which is what I've been doing anyway on the side. But I'm obviously more comfy releasing the fan fiction type stuff, since I already don't have the rights to it anyway, so I might as well just put it out there. Anyway, my Instagram is benwanrider. My son's Instagram, Alfie, is Alfie Pennyworth Cat. He's an orange cat named after Alfred Pennyworth. And if you have an Alfie yourself, then you can get the Whisker Box, the only cat box for the crazy cat lady and gent. But that's okay if you don't have a cat, because if you have a dog, then you can get the Barkbox, y'all. Yes, the Barkbox that we talked about in the middle of the episode is one of our affiliates. You can just follow the link in the description or at superherostuffpod.com/shop, where you can get the first month off from Barkbox free for your special canine friend. That is the first month off free, valued at $35. And you can check out our other stuff at superherostuffpod.com/shop, such as eBay for Batman merchandise, Amazon stuff, Whisper Bidets for your hiney, all at superherostuffpod.com/shop.
If you get, hold up real quick, if you get that free box, now that's just a free Christmas present for your dog.
That's true.
I mean, come on, guys.
Yeah.
So there's that.
God would have wanted for his son's birthday.
That's what Jesus wants, yes.
All dogs will get the Barkbox.
Gold, frankincense, myrrh, and this Barkbox.
Specifically through the Superhero Stuff Pod promo link.
I don't approve of their language, but I do like the Barkbox and the edutainment aspect.
Is that your God impression?
Yeah.
Thanks for listening, God.
Thank you. join our Patreon, please.
I don't have enough money, he says.
I'd like to thank Tway In and God.
Oh, Yahweh. All right, well, if you'd like to see more of my artwork and my doodles and things that I'm sketching, you can go to ZacharyJacksonBrownArt.com. You can also follow me on the Grams, Zachary Jackson Brown Art, as well as TikTok and YouTube. It's all Zachary Jackson Brown Art. Come see what I'm drawing. I'm getting ready to put a Spider-Man thing up, so...
Nice.
I'm too excited about the Tom Holland No Way Home Spider-Man movie, so I'm just kind of trying to do a little bit of Spider-Man stuff to quench that thirst.
I think we're all looking forward to it. So
Indeed.
Be on the lookout for some potential Spidey content.
I think we've made enough hints at that one.
Keep your eyes peeled.
Your peepers.
Both your and maybe the Patreon.
Oh.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. All right, so I, want you to do us a favor.
I want you to tell all your friends about us.
These two slipped on a banana peel.